talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van Range. Supporting van owners to get the job done. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Good afternoon with your headlines at 2 minutes past 1. I'm Uma Gurav. Norwich have confirmed the appointment of ex-Rangers boss Philippe Clement as their new head coach.
Perhaps it tells you that Scottish football is not too far detached from the Championship level in people's minds.
Norwich are second bottom of the Championship after sacking Liam Manning, and Simon Jordan says it's tricky to know what to make of Clement's final weeks at Rangers.
It's because it went downhill rapidly. The fans went off him pretty quickly. The performances sort of distilled to a level that was okay-ish.
Now, can we talk about football? That's what Serena Wiegman's asked journalists this morning as she was bombarded with questions about Mary Earps. Earps claimed in her autobiography that Wiegman had rewarded bad behaviour by picking Hannah Hampton over her to start at the Euros. Wiegman says she hasn't spoken to Earps, but insists she has no regrets.
What I'm trying to do is be as honest as possible and have a very good working relationship, and I think that's what we had. I can't control the other things, so I'm just stick with what I want to do, how I want to do it, and trying to be clear and honest as possible and making decisions to win.
Elsewhere, play with your heads and not your hearts tonight. That's the message to Scotland ahead of their World Cup qualifier against Denmark tonight. They'll make the tournament for the first time this century if they win. Here's ex-midfielder Paul Lambert.
I think the big thing that they have to control the emotion of the game. I think if the lads do that and don't get carried away with the crowd, then they've got a chance. They say that you can never win the game in the first minute, but you can certainly lose it.
Wales play North Macedonia later, but need Belgium to lose to Liechtenstein if they're to avoid the playoffs. And 3 days out from the first Ashes test, England fast bowler Mark Woods come through his fitness test and is now expected to play in Perth. There's more on talkSPORT's cricket YouTube channel.
talkSPORT News.
A win for the consumer. The government is set to ban ticket resales for profit, and MPs are at risk of being targets of Chinese spying. More from the news team at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. For a limited time only, get 15% off a set of 4 selected premium tyres. Don't miss out and book today at quickfit.com and drive away happy every time. Conditions apply.
Bright and frosty in the south and east, rain further north and northwest. That wet weather moving southeast, snow and ice in northern areas. It's feeling cold in the breeze.
This is Paul Hawksbee and Charlie Baker with you through until 4 here on talkSPORT. Where this afternoon? Please tell us, Charlie, what's coming up?
Coming up over the next 3 hours, we will discuss leaked release clauses and Ronaldo's trip to the White House.
He's on his way, apparently.
What's that for?
Yeah.
Bring you all the build-up to tonight's huge games involving Scotland and Wales. And three-weight champ Duke McKenzie pops in to talk AJ v Jake Paul, Wardley's world title and more.
Indeed. We'll also go in search of the ways they try to put you off, plus the longest time between outfits. And from the world of TV, we're joined by Chelsea supporting Traitors winner Harry Clark, as well as Liverpool fan and Strictly judge, the brilliant Shirley Ballas.
Yeah, excellent. So there's all this, plus we'll discover what happened to the iconic Wembley gates.
Yeah.
And another Tuesday, H&B versus ChatGPT.
Yeah, the old Royal gates that the Royal car used to drive in at the old Wembley. You will not, unless you've read the story or are aware of it, you will not believe where they are now.
How do these things get sort of architectural salvage, is it? Is that what happened?
Well, it's a fascinating story.
Yeah.
Phil Bryant, who wrote it for The Sun's going to tell us more. He managed to track them down. So
good.
That's all coming up a little bit later on, I think, isn't it? It looks like it is. Maybe it isn't.
Maybe it isn't.
Maybe it's. Oh, it is. It is. Yeah. Okay.
You wrote the script, so I'm assuming it's in there somewhere.
I'll go back there.
What time will that be, Paul? What time is the Gates, Paul? What time is Gates?
2:45.
Early doors.
What am I? Gates 2:45.
Oh, yeah. Kick off 3.
It is 7 minutes past 1. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Charlie. How are you?
Yes, I'm very good. Yes, Paul. Princess Anne in the news yesterday. I noticed
Was
it yesterday on the socials. I was on my Instagram looking at, doom scrolling as you do.
Yeah.
And Princess Anne popped up.
Oh, did she?
And it was not her. She's not
the doom
at Princess Anne.
Yeah.
At Princess Anne 1, 2, 3.
She do a lot on Insta, does she, Princess Anne?
She's always doing the reels.
By the way, I should apologise for the quite violent screwing up of a piece of paper during Uma's bulletin. She's in full flow, and I'm like...
It was good. I liked it.
It was like she'd done it and didn't like the story, but it wasn't. It was my fault. I do apologise, Uma.
Anyway, Princess Anne pops up on the old Insta, and she is wearing... Let's call it a safari suit, Paul. We're calling it a safari suit.
That's a good look. Yeah.
And she's wearing it in both pictures. Her hair's the same in both pictures.
Yeah.
And there is 52 years between the pictures.
So she's kept it in a wardrobe.
She has recycled the outfit 52 years later.
It's very hard to pull off a safari suit, isn't it? I mean,
tried.
Do you know what I mean? As a look. Unless you're
I'd look like Don Estelle, Paul. In one.
Yeah, you would do. Unless you're Stuart Granger, that's one for the teenagers. In which case you need a leopard skin banded hat.
Okay, yeah.
Or you're Dickie Attenborough in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, that's what you need.
That's about it. Not many other people can carry one off.
Is the safari suit ever going to make a comeback? Do we think?
Well, I mean, Princess Anne. She may be. It's a difficult.
Well, it'll be a very expensive designer one.
It's like the cravat ring. People can wear a cravat. Our good friend John Cadigan, of course, your podcast partner. Yes. John would go to Cheltenham wearing a cravat, but not via the cravat ring, which will allow you to wear it in a sort of jaunty 70s way. But
bit of a Cub Scout look about the old cravat ring, isn't it?
Yeah, there is a touch of a little bit of that. There is a touch of that. Yeah.
Anyway, so 52 years between outfits is what I was banging on about.
Yeah.
I wanted to know. I'm not sure how many we'll get. 8, 10, 89. What's the longest you've gone between outfits? The same outfit?
Yeah.
I've no idea.
Talk fashion, our new station.
I suppose you could do it with football shirts. If you found an old football shirt in the loft that you hadn't worn since you were 15 or
What was the biggest gap between outfits?
Biggest gap.
Between wearing an item. Go on then.
I mean, who knows, Paul, if we'll get any. Steve's been in touch. Is Charlie the voice of the Asda Grinch? A few people have asked. I wish it was.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately not.
Yeah, that would have been good, wouldn't it? I've seen that.
I wouldn't be here, Paul. I'd have had a few.
Am I enjoying shopping? I've seen the advert.
I'm pleased that people think that sounds like me.
Yeah. Well, I could see it. The other thing was today.
Yeah.
How do they try to put you off? I mean, it could be in sport, ideally in sport, or in any walk.
Or if maybe you're reading the news and someone scrunches up some paper.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe I was kicking it off by doing that to Uma earlier on. This is Gianluca Mancini, the Italian defender, thought the best way to get inside Erling Haaland's head, that's the right way of putting it, in their game the other day, was to grab his buttocks.
Lovely.
Erling said, Mancini kept grabbing my buttocks. And I thought, what are you doing? So we danced for a while. No, he didn't say that. He said, it fired me up, he said. It fired me up. And I said to him, thanks for the motivation. Let's have it. And he certainly did have it and scored 2 goals.
2 goals,
and they cuffed Italy 4-1.
I can't picture Erling Haaland's buttocks, actually, Paul. Because some footballers you think, they've got big buttocks. You think of Mark Hughes.
Players were big bums.
Players were big bums. I mean, is that what we're after?
Palace and Spurs, Andy Gray.
A big bum 11.
Well, mate, Andy, who's a Pompey fan.
Southall in goal.
Warren Aspinall had a big bum, apparently. He always said, I mean, it's like the tush push.
Shearer?
The players that did the tush push, which is a big thing in American football at the moment. But there have been players over the years who are they're quite big of bum.
What are you doing with your hands? For the people on
anyway,
people on YouTube.
It's not. This is
also
not,
doing mine. That wasn't what you were after.
This is not about bums. This is specifically about bums. But the whole point of the thing is the way they tried to put you off. The way they tried to put you off. Do let us know this afternoon. Did it work, or did it just motivate you like Erling Haaland? But the buttock grab. One of the less edifying stories of the day involves James Martin, the TV Chef, no, through no fault of his own. He hosts a lounge at Twickenham at the Allianz.
Nice.
And apparently, we read today in the Sun that there is what they're calling a poo done it, because he had to take to the stage at one point. And I don't know if he was asking for someone who'd done it, who was going to put their hand up.
Yeah.
But that somebody in the lifts from the lounge had left a deposit there. I mean, that's very rugby, isn't it?
Very rugby, Paul. They'll have loved that.
It feels very rugby. Archie Curzon. I think it's Archie Curzon who we had in yesterday.
Might have been a Steve Borthwick team-building exercise. Maybe that's why they beat the All Blacks.
Yeah. See that?
10 minutes in the lift.
Yeah. So what about that? I mean, we don't expect you to admit to it today. I just bring that up as a minor news item. But we do want to hear from you this afternoon
about
we do. The longest between outfits and the way people try to put you off, whether it's in sport or beyond. Do let us know. talksport.com, text 81089, tweet TSH and J. Scotland, massive game for Scotland tonight. Trying to make their first World Cup finals since 1998. And
Scotland, no party, Paul.
It's in their hands tonight at Hampden. Should be a raucous atmosphere. Later on, Ray Bradshaw will. Is Ray going? He normally goes, doesn't he?
He normally goes. He might be building up for his. He's got a tour coming out.
Yeah.
So
we're going to have a chat.
Ray later.
We're going to have a chat with Ray Bradshaw later. We'll kick off though with top and tail today's show with Scotland chat. Our old mate Ali Ross, Tartan Army foot soldier. He's going to be joining us. Just look at the significant. I'm going to talk a bit of Aberdeen as well. Aberdeen have made a significant appointment at the top involving a good friend of this show.
Oh, how good.
So we'll tell you more about that a little bit later on. Get Ali's take on what's going on at Aberdeen. But anyway, predominantly Scotland, Denmark tonight. Ben Jacobs going to join us. Yeah, currently in the air, I believe, Cristiano Ronaldo flying to meet President Trump.
And you think to try and play at the World Cup, don't you?
Well, my theory is he's going to ask for a presidential pardon from Infantino so he can play in the first two games of the World Cup. But never mind Infantino. If you can lean on Donald Trump, who's got Infantino in his pocket, it's better. Go to the actual president.
Ronaldo is 100% playing in the first two games.
Yeah.
100%.
As we said, it's WG Grace. It's like no one's here to watch you referee, mate. They're here to watch me play. And Infantino won't want a situation where one of his they'll say there's a bit discretionary. They might say, well, let's just make it one game. Wasn't that bad an elbow, was it? Anyway, we'll find out what happens. Harry Clark from Traitors is going to join us. And he won it as a traitor. He
won it, yes.
And only Alan.
He's got a forces background, Paul, and his new book of having read bits of it is really interesting book.
Yeah.
Actually.
With Shirley Ballas going to join us for a chat. Duke McKenzie. Shirley's being a Liverpool fan. We wonder which Liverpool players would fare well in Strictly. If you've got any thoughts, if you've watched the dance capabilities of the Liverpool players, past and present, we'll run some past Shirley. See if she'd be interested in trying to rope them in.
You can ask all you like for that, Paul, but we're just going to get a lot of Neil Buttock. That's come in. Nicky Butt. That's come in. That's not what we want.
Don't want any of those.
But Eden Hazard, I think they're saying he's got a big bum rather than being a big bum footballer.
Yeah.
Some of them I can't read out, I don't think.
We didn't ask for them. We just want stories of people putting you off.
Arsene Wenger, Paul.
Oh, don't,
Thank
Charlie,
you, Stuart from Shroff.
Don't encourage them.
Anyway, the manager's name.
That's all to come. It's Paul Hawksbee and Charlie Baker here on talkSPORT with our good friends at Toolstation. You can check out Toolstation's unmissable deals, great offers on hundreds of trade brands. Next stop, Toolstation. Waiting our guest Ali Ross, Tartan Army foot soldier, to look ahead to Scotland v Denmark tonight. Huge game of football, of course. And you'll be kept in touch with that and kick off with Hugh Woozencroft and Scott Minto this evening. Charlie, we didn't ask for these, but people have just been sending us a load of backside-related football, most of which you can't.
You can ask for the clever stuff all you like, Paul. You can ask for stories all you like. But if you ask people for bum footballers, they are going to get in touch with Ruben Loftus-Cheek. They're going to get in touch with Ange Posterior Coglu.
They don't want them.
Andy Richards.
Don't want them.
John Bumstead. Michael Cheek.
Don't want them.
Carsten Rump.
Don't want them.
That's Big Ian.
Well, we can't do the Nigel Spink derivative, can we?
No, I can't do the Spink one that was sent in.
Anyway, just come on.
Crack Grealish.
Grow up, the lot of you. We didn't ask for them.
The Liverpool manager's something slotted, I think I can say.
Yeah, no, we can't do that one.
Gavin Bewdley, thank you.
We don't want them. Let's hear from Steve Clarke, end of our chat, Valley Ross. He's the Scotland manager, of course. Speaking ahead of the huge game against Denmark tonight, he hopes his side can do something special.
We lost the game. We probably finished in a good moment with good momentum in the game, and if we can carry that into Tuesday night with the help of a full Hampden and hopefully a very positive Hampden right from the first kick-off. Like I said before, a great group of players, but we're going to need backing from the first minute at Hampden. We need positive backing. We don't. One of my favourite sayings for the players is play with the anticipation of success and not the fear of failure. I'm going to ask the Hampden crowd to do that on Tuesday night. Need them from the first minute to be with us, and in the difficult moments in the game to be especially with us, because that's what this group of players deserve, and if they get that, I'm pretty sure we can do something special.
There we are, Steve Clarke. Yeah, history does weigh heavy on Scotland around these sorts of playoffs, even at Hampden. Yeah. Italy comes to mind, of course. But anyway, let's park all that. That's the
positivity.
That's
Paul.
the past.
Exactly.
And, you know, with respect, Denmark aren't as good as some of the sides that Scotland have played in other playoffs. See, that's Bockton, which I didn't intend to do. Let's have a chat now with Tartan Army foot soldier, Sun TV columnist, Ali Ross. Good afternoon, Ali.
Hello, Ali. Hello, Ali.
Lovely to speak to you guys. I'm hiding just by the toilets at City Airport. If I look a bit furtive here.
So are you heading up to the game, Ali?
I am, yeah. I'm on the 2:05 to Glasgow, so it's a bit of a tight schedule today.
Tight, yeah.
Yeah. It gives you less time to think about what's going to happen tonight.
So how are you feeling about this evening, Ali?
Well, with my sort of logical head on, not great, because there are a lot of obvious flaws in that Scotland team, and if Denmark play to their potential, we could be struggling. But we have a puncher's chance, as the cliche goes. So if they don't take it tonight, then they probably don't deserve to be at a World Cup, because it's going to be a balmy old atmosphere at Hampden.
Yeah. I mean, to be given that extra opportunity, the way the other result went for you at the weekend, I mean, it was a great fight back to come into the game, but to be 3-0 down like that. But look, you have got this lifeline, and it just kind of feels up. I mean, you don't want to say this, but it does feel a little bit like destiny, what happened with Belarus. Maybe this is your year, Ali.
Well, they've given us every chance, haven't they?
Yeah.
And Scotland, in past campaigns, haven't had the best of luck for one reason or another. And they really have been fortune's children this time round. So it's a question of, do they have the mentality to take advantage of that? And that's what my greatest worry always with Scotland teams is, whether they've got the bottle for this tonight. Because if they haven't, they can forget it now.
You've got some big game players, though. I mean, McTominay's been playing top. Andy Robertson's been in huge games. John McGinn. There's a lot of guys who've been there and done it. Maybe calm the nerves if you're letting an early goal or whatever. So there's a fair bit of quality and experience in the team.
Yeah, same thing seems to happen to England, albeit at a much later stage of the World Cup.
Yeah.
And the shirt becomes very heavy on them. And they can feel the weight of expectations there. I have been in this situation so many times before and never learnt my lesson. And when my day comes to pass on, my gravestone will read 2-2. I've seen that. That's all it'll say, 2-2.
Who do you fancy to step up and have their Troy Parrott moment tonight, Ali?
Oh, I would take any of them, but John McGinn is always that guy for a big occasion. You think, cracking player as well, and would be a Tartan Army foot soldier himself if he wasn't playing. I think so. He gets it, and whoever it is would write themselves into legend forever.
A fast start would be good, wouldn't it? Get everybody up, get everybody going. You don't want to sort of suck the air out of Hampden. You're right, it's going to be a brilliant atmosphere beforehand. If they get into them, maybe get an early goal and can keep that momentum. What you don't want to do is get caught on the break, go 1-0 down and sort of suck the air out of the place.
Yeah, it's exactly what we've been doing, though, ever since, I don't know if you remember this, but McTominay had a free kick disallowed against Spain away. And ever since then, we've been slow starters, and you've sensed a lack of confidence and cohesion in the play. It's a weird thing. But if ever there was a night for switching it around, my God, it's Hampden Park today.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming Hoyland will play tonight. Is he fit, Paul?
There's been
he's Norwegian.
Oh, why am I saying Rasmus Hoyland?
Oh, sorry, I was thinking of Haaland. I do apologise.
I'm sorry. Rasmus Hoyland. I'm assuming he'll play tonight, but he's teammates with McTominay. I'm assuming that he'll be told to try and mark him out of the game, because he seems to be their main danger man, and you have to hope that it's the Man United Hoyland that turns up and not the Napoli one.
Yeah, or Erling Haaland, and we're in real trouble.
Yes, he's after having.
I know I often question what I'm doing on talkSPORT, but I did know that.
Well, after having his buttocks fondled by the Italian defender, he has now decided to become Danish. He thinks that's the way, so it can't happen to him again. He
won't have any problems on that score in Glasgow.
No. Yeah, that's not a move that Scotland defenders.
He won't be doing that.
They might knee you in the buttocks, but they won't.
Oh, John McGinn, he's got a big bum, Paul. There's a big bum player.
Yeah, we were talking about some of the great big bum players. We weren't putting the big bum 11 together. We weren't, but apparently the listeners want to.
Josh and Dean Windass just turned up in that, by the way, Paul.
Did they really? Okay, wide of girth. Anyway, sorry, we digress. What was your question?
I love your digressions, Paul.
Yeah.
You know that.
Haven't they had a bit of a sickness bug in the camp?
Apparently so.
Yeah,
that's what you want. The latest was that it's lifted. I don't know what the hotel staff were up to in Glasgow last night.
Nice,
any favours there.
Yeah.
Apparently Hoyland, and they'll have a full complement of them.
When you're used to basically fish, like they all live in Denmark and eat fish, but when you're basically used to that, and then you're confronted with neeps and tatties.
Oh yeah, we won't want any of that.
I mean, it is probably a bit of a shock to the system. No wonder they've had a sickness.
Not there's anything wrong with it. It's not going to be a Spurs lasagna gate today.
No,
I don't think we're going to get any of that.
Yeah, maybe they got a sort of hooky bit of Scottish cuisine.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
By any means necessary, Charlie. By any means necessary.
It all counts.
Whatever gets us over the line.
That's fantastic. Well, look, there's fingers crossed for you, Ali.
Good luck, Ali.
Hope you can get
Thanks
it done.
so much. It's appreciated.
Yeah, I'm feeling confident for you. I can feel a bit of 2-1 coming on. I can feel a glorious 2-1.
Okay, well, I kind of know this team a wee bit better than you, but it is appreciated. Don't tell anyone on the 12th floor you've seen me.
No.
I just left my jacket on the desk.
He's supposed to be at work. He's supposed to be writing about Strictly. We got Shirley Ballas on later. You've always been nice to her, I take it, Ali, have you?
Aye, a fine woman, yeah.
Yes.
I like Shirley a lot.
Good.
It's very friendly, so.
Well, look, safe journey up. Enjoy the game. Come on, Scotland. Thanks very much, Ali.
Thanks, Paul. Take care of yourself.
There we are. There's Ali Ross there, the Tartan Army regular, on his way up to Glasgow for the game. We'll catch up with Ray Bradshaw, comedian. He's Partick Thistle fan, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I meant to talk Aberdeen. We never got round to it. This is Lutz Pfannenstiel, the world's most travelled goalkeeper.
Oh, yeah.
Has become the sporting director at Ali's club, Aberdeen.
Oh, you've spoken to him a few times.
Yeah, Lutz has been on a lot. He's a great operator. He was very involved in developing the now Germany coach, Julian Nagelsmann, when he was at Hoffenheim. He's a good operator. I think Aberdeen have got a good man there. So hopefully we'll catch up with Lutz when he's got his feet under the table and see what life is like up there. He played up in Scotland as well. He played everywhere. I think he played basically everywhere. He's got these books, fantastic. Anyway, Joining us very shortly, we're going to talk about Antoine Semenyo and leaked release clauses. This is not the first time that's happened in recent months with Morgan Gibbs-White. Where does it come from? Elliot Anderson, Miles Lewis-Skelly, Troy Parrott and Cristiano Ronaldo at the White House. Just some of the subjects we'll cover with our very own Ben Jacobs after these news headlines.
Norwich have appointed former Rangers boss Philippe Clement as their new head coach. His deal runs till summer 2029. Norwich are currently second bottom of the Championship after sacking Liam Manning. Simon Jordan says it's tricky to know what to make of Clement's final weeks at Rangers.
Because it went downhill rapidly. The fans went off him pretty quickly. The performances sort of distilled to a level that was okay-ish.
Meanwhile, Rangers have a new set-piece coach. Scott Fry arrives from League One Lincoln, who scored 30 goals from dead ball situations last season. Now we understand former Liverpool coach Vitor Matos is now the leading candidate to take over at Swansea. You can catch more of this at talkSPORT.com. Elsewhere today, Scotland are being urged to play with their heads and not their hearts tonight. Beat Denmark and they're off to the World Cup. Here's Paul Lambert.
Definitely have to probably tighten up in a lot of aspects of it and make tactical fouls. If somebody's going through, bring them down. I think that's nature of the beast, really. But at Hampden, you just hope the lads play with their heads and not with their hearts. If they do that, then they've got a great chance of going through.
Meanwhile, Wales host North Macedonia later, but they need Belgium to lose at home to Liechtenstein if they want to avoid the playoffs. And England fast bowler Mark Wood has come through his fitness tests and is expected to play in Perth. There's more on talkSPORT's Cricket YouTube channel.
on talkSPORT. Semenyo getting to the byline, now pulling it back. Oh, how has he squeezed that in? He's having the season of his life. Bournemouth back on level terms with a moment of brilliance from Semenyo.
Yeah, some player, Paul.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it started the season on fire, didn't he? But
Really
it's sort of tailed off a little bit, much like sort of Bournemouth in places. But, look, still a very good player. And news emerges today that despite signing a new contract in the summer, an extension, of course, he could be yours for 65 million, should he choose to leave. So, off the back of Morgan Gibbs-White in the summer and all the issue around Spurs, it's interesting how these things just suddenly pop up, isn't it? And the news is out there that he could be available. Let's delve into that and other matters, including Cristiano Ronaldo up the White House, with our very own Ben Jacobs. Hi, Ben.
Afternoon, gents.
Is this leaked? Is it going to annoy Bournemouth's ownership, or I mean, how does it suddenly?
By his agent.
How does it get? Well, I mean, we're not suggesting that, but how does it get out there? This sort of stuff, Ben.
Yeah, it can get out for various reasons. I wouldn't presume to second guess another journalist's source, but remember, talkSPORT first revealed there was a release clause. And I think that can be the first domino once it's out there through diligence in journalism from whatever side your source is on. It's a lot harder to then hide the number. In addition to that, sometimes before a window opens, it can be beneficial for even the selling club if they think that release clause is quite good value to have the number out there. Often the release clause is under some kind of protection, almost an NDA, but not in every instance. Sometimes a club knows that the release clause number is so astronomical and on excellent payment terms that they'll want it out there to ward off the market or to invite an offer that's below it but still great value for money. Sometimes a player side will want it out there if they can legally get it in the media without breaching terms because they want to move at a certain point in time. So I think in this particular instance, it was logical because 65 million is a decent number for the Bournemouth side to perhaps be bracing themselves for offers. And even though it'd be reluctant, Semenyo could leave mid-season. And when that kind of narrative is at play, and Bournemouth also might be having to see replacements, the market starts to understand very quickly that the player could leave. And that's probably why we've gone from a talkSPORT exclusive that there is a release clause, but not putting a number on it, to now getting about 6 weeks before the January window opens and being able to tell you that it's 65 million.
Now, we understand that could even come down in the summer. The danger is he has a good World Cup and then suddenly maybe... I don't know quite how it's going to work, but he's not at AFCON, which is an appeal for January because Ghana haven't made it, because that would have been an issue.
Yeah.
So do you expect him to move in January, or do you think he would wait to the summer? I imagine if you're his advisors, you're saying, look, there could be more options in the summer for you. That's if you want to leave at all. I mean, Bournemouth are going very well, and he seems very happy there.
Yeah, I think he signed the new contract, and the only way he was going to do that over the summer when there was interest from Manchester United and Tottenham was with these two release clauses, or one release clause that diminishes in number in the summer. So it's actually 60 million and then 5 million in add-ons for January, and then it goes down between now and the summer. It will not drop below £50 million. And some sources say it doesn't even drop that significantly at all. And therefore, the price in January and the price in the summer, even though the latter will be lower, may not be that different. And I think if you're Semenyo, you're just going to, first of all, understand that if somebody wants you, it can be out of Bournemouth's control. And therefore, if the clause is triggered, he might be able to take his pick. But you're absolutely right that he's scoring, he's settled, and to wait until summer will not be that big a deal as far as the player is concerned. So he's in a very privileged position where he can have his cake and eat it. And then the last thing to say is that if it is to be in January, we won't be talking about this all throughout the January window, because only the first half of the window, broadly speaking, when the clause can be triggered, and that's intentional to give Bournemouth the opportunity to replace him. So if this is going to happen, I think like with Matheus Cunha before the window opened, when it was obvious Man United were going to trigger the clause, we might learn of a potential suitor in December. And if he leaves, it could happen very quickly.
This is Bournemouth's business model, isn't it? They develop players, bring them on, then sell them on. It must be so frustrating being a Bournemouth fan because you get to a certain level. They're obviously having a good season, and then your best players get sold. We've seen it with Southampton, and we know it.
Yeah.
It does seem to have a finite point to it.
It's a good point, Charlie. You can run out of luck. So far, Bournemouth's recruitment has managed to, fill in the gaps of players like Kirkes and others leaving as they did in the summer, and you're not really seeing the join. But you can only kind of do that for so long. They won't want to lose him. Certainly not for what people might. If certainly in the summer,
who sets the fee?
Well, I mean,
who sets that?
Let's ask Ben that question. I mean, imagine it's the player and the agent. They want a sell-on clause within a contract, and they negotiate it with the club, don't they? The level of that.
Yeah, my understanding in this case is that Manchester United and Spurs came calling in the summer. Semenyo decided to stay, but there was a clear stipulation on the player side that there must be both the January and the summer release clause. So the starting point of can I have a clause came from the Semenyo side, to my understanding, and then the number is just mutually agreed. So sometimes you see it more in Spain where everyone's got a release clause. The number's simply sky high, and it's almost saying you either grow into an astronomical valuation or the club holds a lot of the cards if they want to say no. In other instances, like with Mateus Cunha, it's set at market value and the player's really happy with the number and pushing for a certain number because they know that a lot of clubs are just going to trigger that clause because it's not one lump sum payment. With Cunha it was 3 and 62.5 million. When you think of Brian and Bumo going for 71 million, Cunha would have been happy with that valuation and thinking I'm definitely going to get a summer move and this clause is not going to be a hurdle. So the number will always have debate. If it's too high, the player doesn't agree to it. If it's too low, the club doesn't agree to it. But there's usually a middle ground that you can find. And in this case, the fact it goes down in the summer tells you that if Semenyo commits to Bournemouth for all of this season, which is Bournemouth's hope at least, then by the time the summer comes along, he'll be fantastic value to somebody.
Yeah, so I mean, again, if he has a good World Cup, he smokes out some big clubs around Europe, he's got a lot more interest, a lot more options potentially. Just away from this finally, Ben, Cristiano Ronaldo is heading to the White House apparently today for an audience with Donald Trump, or probably the way he sees it the other way round. I've got this theory that he won't want to miss any of the games in the World Cup, and I thought he might ask for a presidential pardon from Gianni Infantino, but it seems he's cutting out the middleman, as Charlie said, and going right to the top for his presidential pardon. And we know that Donald Trump likes to tell Gianni Infantino what to do, like where to hold the draw for the World Cup next month. So maybe he's going to get his wish. Maybe we'll see him in all 3 games at the World Cup after today.
Yeah, Trump can do a lot of things, but I'm not so sure that he can recede red cards. So that punishment may be out of the president's control. But we heard yesterday that Trump's prepared potentially to move venues if he perceives them to be unsafe. So it's going to be fascinating between now and the draw and in the days that follow to see whether the roadmap for the World Cup has the venues as listed or if there are any last minute changes. And then today, even though the Ronaldo side are not yet officially confirming it, several sources within the White House and around the player have confirmed that he's expected to attend a meeting. And it's also on a day, interestingly, when the US president is set to host the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman in the Oval Office as well. So we're kind of going to get a Saudi, American and sports crossover. And we're going to learn that actually Cristiano Ronaldo is far more than a footballer in Saudi Arabia. And he's getting this crazy and amazing wage because he's promoting Saudi Arabia, including MBS's Vision 2030. And Saudi Arabia have, of course, qualified for the World Cup as well. So Ronaldo's in a really interesting position because everyone's just billing this as, can he win a World Cup? Can he represent Portugal at his last World Cup? And it's all about also getting towards that 1,000 goals. But whilst he's there in America, you could also argue in many ways he's representing Saudi Arabia, Saudi tourism, and then you have that crossover because 2034 the World Cup will go to Saudi Arabia and Ronaldo will now be a part of that as well. So the timing, the fact it's not just would you like to come to the White House as Cristiano Ronaldo, but it's actually would you like to come to the White House whilst also meetings are taking place with the Saudi Crown Prince. That tells you how embedded Cristiano Ronaldo is, not just as a footballer, but as a representative for Saudi Arabia.
Good stuff. Ben, good to talk to you as always. Thanks very much.
Ben. Thanks, guys.
I'm sure we'll see pictures from the Oval Office a little bit later on. Don't forget
that is how I think it'll play out.
Oh,
Paul.
yeah.
I think Infantino will rescind all bans and all red cards just for that reason. I think he'll do that. He'll go, we want all
like an amnesty.
Yeah, like an amnesty. I think that's what he'll do because of Ronaldo. I think he'll go, let's get them all off.
What, up until this point? Players can't just go out there.
No, not now. But I think when it gets to it, I think they'll just rescind them all and go, you can all play.
Right.
That's how I think it'll work, Paul.
Okay.
Quote me on it. What time is it? 13:46.
Yeah. Never in a million.
Tuesday the 18th.
Now, don't forget that every single game of the World Cup will be live on talkSPORT and talkSPORT 2 next summer. We'll have the main draw live on Friday, the 5th of December, from Washington, D.C. We're going to have a chat with Harry Clark, winner of Series 2 of Traitors, and a big Chelsea fan. He has a new book out. He joins us next. We're here with our good friends at Toolstation. Don't forget Toolstation's unmissable deals, great offers on hundreds of trade brands. Next stop, Toolstation. going to talk traitors now. Well, partly because the winner of Series 2, Harry Clark, has a new book out, Staying Faithful. He's a big Chelsea fan as well.
Yeah.
And he joins us now.
Very good book.
Harry, good
Hello,
afternoon.
Harry.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're
How
really
are we doing?
welcome. Yeah, really
we're
good. Really good.
We're good. Yeah, I mean, I was just reading a little bit of background. I mean, life's been fairly crazy for you. You kind of happened into Traitors by accident. Didn't they see some footage of you on sort of TikTok, on your girlfriend's TikTok, and said, yeah, you'd be good for the show? And you never watched Series 1 before you went on it, which you think played a part in how well you did in Series 2?
Oh, definitely. I mean, how modern for me to be seen on TikTok. But yeah, it was literally, like you said, it's quite nice that I have this book because it gives people a deeper understanding of me and obviously all the challenges I face. Not only has my life been crazy for the last 2 years, it's been crazy throughout my life. You know, I joined the army from an early age. And then, yeah, I was on my girlfriend's TikTok who was in the industry. And then there was a caster who's seen me on her TikTok and thought, I don't know what she thought, to be honest, because I thought there's no way anyone would want to see this idiot on TV, but here we are. And she did, thank God to her. And then, yeah, I think it played a massive part in helping me because I was never stuck in the mud. I didn't go in there, you know, trying to pre-plan from what I'd seen in Series 1. It was just what you saw and what happened in the moment was what came to mind. And that's how I think I got away with things, because when people went in there and they pre-planned how they were going to get out of situations, if it didn't come around the way they planned for it to, they would be stuck in the mud. And I think that's what caught out some people. Whereas for me, I was quite lucky by not seeing it.
Yeah, in the book, you talk quite a lot about being in the forces and your forces training. Do you feel like that helped you when you went into Traitors?
Yeah, definitely. I think the forces is the best place for a certain type of people. And it was really the molding factor of, you know, I had all of these qualities and some positive, some negative. And the army was that factory where it got rid of all the negatives and it really brought out the positives in me. And it helped me to stay cool under pressure, you know, and that's a big thing in the Traitors. And it was just from that early age, you know, I was a boy in a man's world and I had to learn a lot of things really quickly. And going into the Traitors, you know, you're thrown in there with 21 other people who are all adults on different walks of life. Yeah. And again, the whole way through the army, I was meeting these types of people. So it helped me massively.
You went into celebrity SAS, but I was reading you felt you did that sort of too quickly off the back of Traitors and just maybe in hindsight, you wouldn't do that again.
Yeah, definitely. Well, funny enough, I actually would do that again. I would love to go back for revenge. I always say this. It was a moment in my life where I was sort of lost and I didn't know where or what direction my life was going in, because again, I had just won the Traitors. This was a couple of weeks after the Traitors being asked to do that show. I had had 6 months of, again, where you sign off from the army, you serve 12 months. So I didn't actually know what my life was going to look like. And I, you know, let myself slip. I went to 110 kilos when I went onto this show. Now, a year later, I'm 84 kilos. So I've been working, and that was sort of, I always said it was a blessing in disguise because it was the rocket up my backside, if not to be crude. That sort of told me, you know, I need to get myself in shape and my mind in shape to be able to go on to these shows. So yeah, it was a blessing in disguise, and it was a learning point, a learning curve in my career already. And it was good that it came so early on.
Did you watch the latest series? The one that you thought Joe Marler did from a sporting point of view, and also Alan Carr, of course, like you, a traitor going all the way. What did you make of it?
I love the series. I think the Celebrity Traitors was amazing because it has that whole new twist of it, where they're celebrities and they're fighting for charity, so it has a different sort of path that it takes, and they're friends, and it's like, do they keep their friends in or not? Joe Marler, again, I think he had that team sort of spirit from being a professional athlete. He was great, and now we play paddle together, so he's always in and around. But Alan Carr, I mean, who else would you rather want to share the Traitors crown with? And it's so funny because we're the complete opposite as well.
You wouldn't be playing paddle with Joe Marler unless you'd done what are you up to this? I'm playing paddle with Joe Marler.
Yeah, how did you get that? Oh, just
yeah. I bet
bumped into him.
He hits the ball hard, Joe. Does he hit it hard?
He does hit it hard.
Yeah.
He does hit it hard.
The book, we should say, it's called Staying Faithful. And an awful lot of the book is about faith and how important it is to you. I mean,
you described your faith as like a vase. You describe yourself as a vase, like the ones you put a flower in. And you say, if you threw the vase off the table, it would smash into 100 different shards. And everyone in my life, my mum, dad, and various other people get a different piece of the vase, whereas you see that God sees the whole vase and looks after you. I enjoyed that description. Does that help you throughout your life, Harry?
Yeah, I think that surprised me coming out with that one as well. I was quite happy with that and that sort of analogy. But yeah, do you know what it was? It was winning the Traitors. Obviously, people always asked, how did you do this? How did you do that? And basically, the book is an insight to my whole life. So it's a deeper understanding of who I am and how I had the mentality I had going into the Traitors. And I'd been through some rocky times in my life, which I explain in the book, being in the army, you know, through family and stuff. And the one thing that stayed consistent was my faith. And I think it's very easy now in 2025 for people to feel lost, for people to feel negative. It's a lot easier to be negative than positive. And for me, faith is what got me through them times. And even if I'm being negative now, I just sit down there and I'll pray. And do you know what? If this book can help someone out there who feels a little bit lost, if they can just take one bit from my story and add it to their own, then my job here is done. And that's all I wanted to do with my book.
Just ask you finally about Chelsea. How did that come about? And do you get down to the bridge now and again?
Yeah, so it's a funny story actually. So my granddad used to play youth Tottenham, and then his cousin was Peter Osgood.
Oh wow!
So because, back in the day, it was a lot easier to get to Chelsea than it was Tottenham. So my dad and my uncle, they used to be taken to Chelsea all the time, and then it just was ingrained in us from when I was born. I was a Chelsea fan, and then very luckily, the higher ups at Chelsea watched the Traitors. So now Paul Whit-Stanley will call the phone, and then he allows me to go and watch Chelsea whenever I want to go out there and watch. It is amazing. That's been one of the bestest things, obviously, from a kid who's a football fan always, taking my dad and my brothers to the bridge, and not having to worry about getting the tickets in and where we're going to get them from. You know, being able to sit up there and just watch the game with a few beers and some food is been amazing.
What a life, Paul. Paddle with Joe Marler and watching Chelsea. As much Chelsea as you can eat.
Yeah, but you never would have met Ozzy then. Your paths would never have crossed, sadly, would they?
No. Unfortunately, they didn't. But fun fact, his son, Anthony, is my little brother's godfather. So the football runs in the family, as well as the boxing, funny enough, and all this talk about the boxing.
Lovely man, Ozzy, and a brilliant player. Me and Andy were chatting about him off air the other day. Yeah, what a player. Well, Harry, lovely to talk to you. We wish you
good luck with it, Harry.
Wish you well with the book. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, guys. Have a good day.
Harry Clark, their winner of Series 2 of Traitors. Staying Faithful, his autobiography is published by SPCK Publishing. It is Paul Hawksbee and Charlie Baker. We're going to talk a bit of Wales later on. No one's seen more Welsh football, I would think, over the years than Paul Abandonato. He is a seasoned journalist. He's covered them all, from Yoreth to Bellamy. And he's now written the book In the Dragon's Den. And, of course, he'll be getting a bit nervous ahead of tonight. He's got some great war stories from working with our old mate Bobby Gould and Ryan Giggs and Gareth Bale, and everybody's in there. So we'll have a chat with Paul. Look ahead to tonight's big game. Hoping they can get a better class of playoff tonight, because they're in the playoffs, but they want to be as ranked highly as they can in Wales. So it's a big night for them. And we'll keep talking Scotland with Ray Bradshaw. He's going to be joining us later. Shirley Ballas in the next hour. Which are the Liverpool players would she like to see in Strictly? She's a big Liverpool fan. Duke McKenzie and all the big boxing stories of the day. And we'll discover what happened to those iconic Wembley gates. That's all coming up in the next hour of the show.
talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van Range. Commercial vehicles that go the distance for your business. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Good afternoon with your headlines at 3 minutes past 2. I'm Uma Gurav. They say no Scotland, no party. Well, we've been told if there's no win tonight, Scotland will have no one to blame but themselves.
We have a conscious chance, as the cliche goes. So if they don't take it tonight, then they probably don't deserve to be at a World Cup, because it's going to be a balmy old atmosphere at Hampden.
The Sun columnist Ali Ross there. Scotland face Denmark tonight. A win would earn them a place in the tournament for the first time since 1998. Barry Bannon believes they've got to turn the tables on Denmark, who'll not be happy about the position they're in.
They might be feeling a bit of pressure tonight. They wouldn't have wanted to come to Hampden knowing they've got to get a point to go through. So, yeah, like I said, Scotland have got to try and take advantage of that and start fast and put them on the back foot.
Wales host North Macedonia later, but need Belgium to lose at home to Liechtenstein if they're to avoid the playoffs. Now, Serena Wiegman's had to ask journalists to stop talking about Mary Earps. Speaking for the first time since the former England goalkeeper's criticism of Hannah Hampton, Wiegman was asked what she made of Earps' autobiography.
That's her book. A lot of response on it. And I don't think I can react anything more because there's a lot of private conversations that I always keep private. So I'm not sure what you want more from that.
Wiegman's also named her squad for friendlies against China and Ghana. London City Lionesses forward Freya Godfrey is the only new call-up. Elsewhere today, Norwich have appointed former Rangers boss Philippe Clement as their new head coach. His deal runs till summer of 2029. Norwich are currently second bottom of the Championship. And former Liverpool coach Vitor Matos is the new leading contender to take over as Swansea manager, we understand. All your latest is at talksport.com.
talkSPORT News.
The security minister says China is targeting within a wide range of people, including MPs with espionage, and the government's cracking down on ticket resales. Tom has more at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Come rain or shine, we've got your electric car covered with 400 EV ready centres, so you can drive away happy every time.
Rain spreading southeast to most parts through the day. Snow and ice affecting some northern areas. It's feeling very cold in the breeze.
Good afternoon, Paul Hawksbee, Charlie Baker here on talkSPORT. And coming up in the second hour, Duke McKenzie pops in to see us, three-weight world champion.
Yeah, great.
AJ versus Jake Paul, Usyk relinquishing his WBO heavyweight title to Fabio Wardley. Lots of other boxing stories out there. We'll be chatting to Duke later on. Phil Bryant from The Sun went in search of what happened to the iconic Wembley gate.
Yes.
The old Wembley, where the royal cars used to go in to get into the stadium.
Be a good episode of Steptoe and Son, that, Paul.
You reckon they just turn up in the...
Oh,
yeah. Old
Where you get those gates?
Yeah. A bit of history, Dave.
Oh, father.
Yes.
Oh, father. I got myself some gates.
Not enough metal on them.
What's she done with them gates?
Yes. It's not bad.
Not bad.
You could. Yeah.
I can't do it again.
No, okay.
I can do that. I can have
It's
one
a bit
effort.
like me with Sean Dyche. It's your job, by the way. Yes. Talking of which, Sean did the kind of money thing, fame and fortune in the Sunday Times
did he?
the other day.
Yeah, Paul.
And they said to Sean, "What is your money weakness?"
Oh yeah.
And he said, "Designer clothes." See, I told you I don't just say it's your job, by the way. That's it.
You've turned into
I've done Butch
Yeah,
from the City Show. Well, it's getting near Panto season. I thought I might get some work out of it. So no, he said designer clothes and almost always black. He said black. Yeah. He said I've got a soft spot for them. Actually left a Dolce & Gabbana shirt in the back of a taxi recently.
Why did he take it? Why was he taking it off? Was he getting changed?
I don't know. I imagine he just bought it and he left it in the bag. It was very expensive and I was gutted. But I wouldn't for 1 second call myself a fashion guru. I never knew he was some sort of big D&G. What about that?
Sort of Johnny Cash of football managers. Just always dressed in black, Paul. I like that very
Who
much.
knew he was a bit of a clothes horse? Well, he could carry off a safari suit. You said you saw... No?
I don't know. Could he?
Wouldn't that be bold?
Yeah, he'd be it's quite a...
Just for the next Forest home game, wanders out onto the touchline, full safari suit.
Pith helmet?
No need for that. Like with the... But with the cravat ring as well.
Yes.
To carry off. Yeah.
You said earlier, apparently, Princess Anne in a safari suit. Paul said it's difficult to pull off a safari suit.
Yeah.
What was Princess Anne's reaction when you tried, Paul, is what people are asking. You know,
it is Panto season. Our old mate Crackers says Roger Moore as Bond. And Bob Down, the famous old Aussie comedian.
Bob Down was fantastic.
The only other two people who could carry off.
Still going, I think.
Suit.
Bob.
Yeah, no, he's still working. He's touring this year. Still very much in the showbiz industry. So anyway, it is time now for us to try and predict the scores of 3 big games. As once again we take on the Noah of all things, the very top end of the world of technology that really should be winning this every week.
The voice is really shonky, isn't it, Paul? But we know we try our best.
It's H&B versus Chat GPT.
H&B versus Chat GPT.
The H&B versus Chat GPT. That point of the show where we take on Chat GPT. All the predictions you're going to get of 3 big games this week are from ChatGPT. They're the actual predictions that ChatGPT has made. Our problem is the delivery system. We couldn't afford that kind of fruity voiceover man that you often hear if you ask ChatGPT to voice stuff. Ours is a touch shonky, but we don't mind that.
No, well, you work on journalism, don't you? You work, however many years of journalism it is. ChatGPT works on the whole of the internet, and I work on vibes.
Yeah.
And just looking at this week's league table, I scored 0 points.
Yeah, it wasn't a great week for
you
vibes,
scored
was it?
6.
Not a great week for Gary Burton or Roy Ayers.
The vibes were off.
Yeah.
You scored 6 points. You must have got one spot on.
I did get one spot on.
And Chat got 2 points. So you're on 13. You won last month as well, Paul. You are better than the internet.
Well, I know. If only my
Paddy Power
bookies account. Yeah, my Paddy Power account said that as well, because it's not quite as healthy as that. So, I think it's time, as always, to say hello to our old mate Chat. Hello, Chat.
Hey, Chat.
Hey, lads, how are yous? What's the crack, lads?
Hang on. What's gone on here? What's going on? That's not
you. That's not you, Chat. Where are you, Chat?
What's happened? What have you been up to?
I have been splitting the G with Troy Parrott and the Ireland boys since Sunday.
It's still a touch shonky, isn't it? But he's developed this Irish accent.
I like your Irish accent.
Yeah,
I quite like it, Chat.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure
about it.
I feel robbed.
Robbed of our old friend.
I mean,
where's our old friend gone?
I mean, you do sound really Irish.
I'm proper Irish, lads. I've just had a stand-up argument with Mick McCarthy.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. Anything else? Anything
You're a big
else
baby.
To back up your Irish credentials, Chat?
Drink. Go on, go on, go on.
Oh, blimey, yeah. Father Ted material.
Very nice.
Anything else?
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling.
He's no Barry McGuigan's dad with that delivery, is he, really?
No way. There we are. Wow,
But how Irish are you, Chat?
I'll tell you how Irish I am, lads. I even say Lidl instead of little.
Oh, blimey, that is Irish.
Super Irish.
Proper Irish. If you say Lidl.
Dirty old town. Dirty old town.
Wow.
I love the crack.
I'm sure you do. What else
And I
you
love the beavers.
And you love the beavers. At least you still love the beavers, Chat. That's the important thing. But I'm not sure. I would imagine, though, is
this clearer, Paul? We don't have to
it's true.
Repeat it.
We can understand what they're saying. Anyway, we should get on with the predictions. Let's kick off with Scotland-Denmark. Massive game at Hampden tonight. Scotland hoping to get to their first World Cup since 1998. I'll lead us off because I'm top. Well, I've kind of given the game away, really. I don't know, it could be I say an unlikely source because he's one of the strikers. Is Dykes playing? Look, him.
Lyndon Dykes, yeah.
Or Adams or someone like that. I think one of the strikers is going to pop up with a Troy Parrotty late goal.
You think?
To nick it 2-1. I'm feeling very 2-1 Scotland tonight. I certainly hope so. Okay, I'm going 2-1. Chat, what say you?
Massive game for Scotland. They love the crack. They will beat the Danish 2-1.
Oh, okay. They love the cat. I'm not sure about Chat. I'm not sure.
I quite like it.
You like it?
Since it's become Irish.
Yeah.
Nice. I love the crack.
Yeah, it's
I've got bad news. Pretty good news.
It's a bit phone jacker, isn't it? Have you noticed that? Yeah. Okay.
I think Denmark will score early.
Oh, okay. That's the worst, isn't it?
I think they're going to win 3-1, I'm afraid. Denmark
3-1.
3-1, I think.
That's a bit of a damp
I
squib.
got no points last week, so this is good news.
That is bold. Okay, well, if you're going along, and we're going to have a chat with Ray Bradshaw. We spoke to Ali Ross, who's on his way up. It'd be mid-air now, I guess. Let's move on then. TalkSPORT listeners home in the car if you want to have a go yourselves.
Yeah.
Wales North Macedonia, another huge game at the Cardiff City Stadium where we'll have a sensational atmosphere. Yes, this could be a tough old night for Wales. A couple of big suspensions, haven't they? And they're not bad, North Macedonia. I'm going to go one each. I'm going to go one each this evening.
A couple of big suspensions going into Wales, Paul. That's the old bridge, is it?
Yes, it could be.
Would you say one each?
I think that will...
Does that get them through? Is that enough for them? No. What do they need?
I think it could be right. If the other results sort of go their way, I think it could be enough. Anyway, I'll be true to that. What do you think, chat?
Wales host North Macedonia. I believe Wales are favourites. For one win for the Welsh.
4-1.
For one win for the Welsh. 4-1. Oh, well, that's good. That's a bit more...
I agree. I agree with you, chat, actually. I'm going to say a 3-1 win for the Welsh. I think Craig will have them.
3-1 for the Welsh.
Really
good.
Going.
Okay, well, I hope you're right.
Who on earth is this? Get the original ChatGPT back.
I know.
Why is Graham Norton doing this? Top of the morning to you, Bobby in Bristol.
We're struggling a bit with it, but what can you do? He's been out with Troy Parrott, the lad, since Sunday, splitting the G. Preston Blackburn bring it for you live on TalkSPORT on Friday night. Big Friday night game. They've both been going all right, haven't they? Recently.
Preston did a very
I think at Blackburn, though, I quite fancy the draw. I'm going to sit on the fence again. I'm going to go one each on the night. Chat, what say you?
Preston sit quite high in the table compared to Blackburn. I think it might be a tight game. 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw. I say they're going well, Blackburn. I think they lost their last 3 matches. I didn't look for a while, clearly.
Just looking at...
But anyway, I think
Preston are 4th.
Yeah, they are.
I think at home...
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Preston win. I'm going to say
yeah, you probably said
2-0 to Preston.
2-0 Preston. Okay. TalkSPORT listeners home in the car. Well, there we are. Slightly different chat GPT from the one
quite like
we realised. Well, let's see if he's still...
Anything else? Any Dave Allen or Jimmy Cricket material you've got for us?
I don't think he's got much
Nothing
more
chat,
for us.
nothing else, no?
Probably just another chance to tell us what you do love, chat.
I love the crack.
Oh, yeah.
And I love the Beavers.
And you love the Beavers. Yeah, okay, well, we'll leave it there.
At least he still loves the Beavers.
I mean,
Danny boy, the pipes. The pipes are calling.
Yes, okay. The romance of a beautiful Irish tune there. So, there we are. That was H. Hopefully he's lost the accent by next week. That was H&B versus ChatGPT. Shirley Ballas joining us for a chat very shortly, of Strictly fame, of course. And a bit of breaking news from the Strictly world.
Yes.
Which we'll be talking to Shirley about. An injury. No one's injury news, do they? Whether it be at Liverpool World Club or on Strictly.
Someone's out for the weekend.
What a blow. But who is it? Chris Kamara. No. We'll ask Shirley in a few moments' time. We're here with our good friends at Toolstation. Check out Toolstation's unmissable deals. Great offers on hundreds of trade brands. Next stop, Toolstation. Good afternoon, Paul Hawksbee, Charlie Baker here on Talk Sport. That's breaking news from the world of Strictly Come Dancing. Yes. And who better to talk about it?
I know, it's amazing.
Than
brilliant guest for it, Paul.
One of the judges on Strictly is, of course, Liverpool supporting Shirley Ballas. Good afternoon, Shirley.
Hello, Shirley.
How are you?
We're good, thank you. Very good. We'll come on to the show in a minute, but on a more serious note, we're going to talk first about the campaign you're launching today on a condition very sort of close to you and your family. Shirley, tell us more.
Well, in 2002, my mother got diagnosed with COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. I actually think she'd probably had it for years. She insisted she didn't have it, but we, in the end, got diagnosed for it. And to watch her suffer with breathlessness, and we can only go out once a week. If somebody gets a cold, my mother's likely to get the flu or pneumonia. So I have to be very vigilant as a carer all the time. Now, it's quite interesting because 1.4 million people are confirmed with COPD and 2 million people are undiagnosed. And I just read another statistic that was interesting. Every 20 minutes, a person dies from COPD. I'd never heard of it before 3 years ago when my mother got it. And now I'm on a mission. I'll be going to the House of Commons tomorrow to speak to MPs about COPD and to prioritise some resources towards this dreadful disease, because I think it's quite misunderstood. It's invisible. You can't see it. It affects the insides, the lungs. And so that's what basically I'm doing. And also to get it in all pockets of the country. Sometimes deprived areas don't get the same kind of treatment that other areas get. So I'm on a little bit of a mission. First of all, trying to keep my mother safe from ever sort of like getting really, really poorly. It is degenerative. It's never going to get better. So she has to learn to live with it.
Yeah, so Paul and I both lost a friend, Steve Brown, with it, I think about 18 months ago now, and it is a really difficult disease to deal with and to manage, and it really affects the families and friends of those who do, Shirley.
Well, my mother is a smoker, but you don't necessarily get COPD through smoking. It could be through pollution, or I heard one lady told me today that her family member was born with pneumonia and went on to die of COPD, never smoked a day in their life. So it's actually quite interesting when you look at all these statistics. I mean, 1 in 20 diagnosed with COPD. I mean, that's unbelievable. Like I said, I didn't know these statistics before. And if you go to the emergency, it's the second largest cause of emergency admission into hospitals. So I think there's a lot of people out there who are probably suffering and don't quite know what to do. They might think they've got a little cold, so take an antibiotic. But I'm trying to urge everybody, if you think you have some lung disorder or a bad cough or something's going on for an extended period of time, really try to go get tested for COPD.
Well, we wish you well.
Thank you very
tomorrow,
much,
Shirley, and say it's a condition that's touched myself and Charlie through Steve as well. Shock news from the world of Strictly. Someone who was so wanting to be in Blackpool is not going to be in Blackpool, we understand.
Lavoie won't make the weekend in Blackpool.
An injury.
An injury to the foot.
Oh.
And from day one, Lavoie has always said she'd be happy if she got to Blackpool. It was a dream. It's what she put out in the universe. And now this injury that she had last week, but now has gotten much worse. And the doctor said she absolutely has to rest. So she'll get a bye and come back, I believe, in week 10.
Wow. As you said, there is that thing about getting to, as long as I can get to Blackpool, they'll say, I don't mind. It's about getting to, I mean, it's easier to get to Blackpool. You just get on the train.
It's been
it is the most iconic ballroom in the world with the best sprung floor ever.
Is it like dancing at Wembley, Shirley, when you're in your sort of the height of your dancing days? Was it like playing in the big stadium?
Yes, I'd say it's exactly that. People come from all over the world just to go into either the Winter Gardens or the Tower Ballroom. It is by far the most famous ballroom in the world for anybody who's a dancer.
It's a Frank Matcham auditorium. Frank Matcham designed the London Palladium and the London Coliseum, and also the Blackpool Tower Ballroom. If you ever go into a beautiful auditorium and you think this is nice, it's 9 times out of 10.
It's normally one of his.
Matcham. It's been a brilliant series. I've absolutely loved what Alex Kingston has been doing.
Have you got a favourite? Is she your favourite?
I think she's my favourite because I think she, what the programme represents, I think, is people giving themselves a new skill that they're learning and getting better at week after week after week. And that can happen at any age. And she seems to have really embraced the show. And Johannes is a fantastic teacher as well.
And do you vote?
Of course I vote Shirley.
Wow.
I mean, I'm rarely in on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Just checking. If she goes home, don't blame me.
Yeah. I've been impressed with Balvinda, who seems to be in the dance-off every Sunday. Yeah, has just stuck in there and has been a great survivor in this, hasn't she?
Well, last week, the 4th time in the dance-off, and I meant it when I said to her, a veteran, she who stayed calm, she was cool, she was collected, she knew what to expect. And poor Vicky kind of lost it with her nerve. Made lots of mistakes, so Balvinder's saved again for the 4th time.
The jive's hard, though, isn't it? Oh. Unless the dance.
Shirley was. Well, you were world champion when you. Shirley.
Yeah, jive was one of my best dances. It's a tricky dance to do, particularly you need to be physically fit to get through it. You know.
To get the legs, to not make it look like Nan dancing at a wedding is quite hard, isn't it?
Well, I don't see too many men dancing at weddings.
Yes. So, Liverpool. Is there any Liverpool player you would love to see on Strictly? Who's your favourite all-time Liverpool player, Shirley?
I think all of the Liverpool players should be on one at a time or all at once.
Yeah, we don't
not Isak.
We don't want anybody.
He's been out. He wouldn't make Blackpool at the moment.
He doesn't need a Lavoie-like injury, does he? Or it would be. It'd be nice to get one of the extra. I mean, Jimmy, what did you make of Jimmy Floyd? He was pretty good. He did pretty well, didn't he?
He did pretty good on the show, absolutely, and he had the time of his life, so that's great.
And you still got Karen there, holding up the end from the world of football, Karen Carney. So she's done very well.
Yeah. And trying very, very hard, beautiful this week, and she's going to be fantastic, I'm sure.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Excellent.
Well, look, best of luck with the rest of the series, and good luck tomorrow. Talking to the powers that be about COPD. Thank you, Shirley. All the best.
Thanks, Shirley.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Take care. There's great Shirley Ballas there, the Strictly judge, and he's back this weekend, live from Blackpool.
Oh, yeah.
With no...
Do you know what I know about Frank Matcham, Paul?
No.
From Newton Abbot.
Was he really?
He's from Newton Abbot, Paul.
Is he your proudest son?
I think so.
Yeah?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, if you go into any
maybe couldn't he? I mean, it's too late now from his point of view. Two different stories.
Hackney Empire.
Yeah, Hackney Empire.
Richmond. That's one of his. All over the place.
Yeah,
beautiful places. Nice. He turned the Palladium it was an old circus venue. He turned it into the theatre that we know now. But there's still bits of the Palladium that are known as the Pony Run.
Couldn't he do the Plainmoor Clubhouse? Couldn't it be done in that? In that style?
Boots and laces.
Boots and laces.
Frank Matcham.
Make it look like the Palladium. That'd be fantastic.
That'd be lovely, Paul.
Yeah.
Just what they need, the club in National League South.
That's really what they should be spending.
That's what we're hopefully spending the money
on. Not players. Don't spend it on players, whatever you do. Spend it on a Frank Matcham style ballroom. Anyway, still to come this afternoon. Christy Martin, Boxing Hall of Famer. Her story, it's an amazing backstory.
Yeah, it's amazing.
She was a real pioneer of women's boxing. The film of her life story is out now, starring Sydney Sweeney. But we're going to have a chat with Christy later on. It is quite the tale. We'll look ahead to Wales, look ahead to Scotland. Lots more to come between now and 4. We'll get the news headlines next.
Norwich have appointed former Rangers boss Philippe Clement as their new head coach. His deal runs till summer 2029. Norwich are currently second bottom of the Championship after sacking Liam Manning. Simon Jordan says it's tricky to know what to make of Clement's final weeks at Rangers.
Because it went downhill rapidly. The fans went off him pretty quickly. The performances sort of distilled to a level that was okay-ish.
Meanwhile, Rangers have a new set-piece coach. Scott Fry arrives from League One Lincoln, who scored 30 goals from dead ball situations last season. Now we understand former Liverpool coach Vitor Matos is now the leading candidate to take over at Swansea. You can catch more of this at talksport.com. Elsewhere today, Scotland are being urged to play with their heads and not their hearts tonight. Beat Denmark and they're off to the World Cup. Here's Paul Lambert.
Definitely have to probably tighten up in a lot of aspects of it and make tactical fouls. If somebody's going through, bring them down. I think that's nature of the beast, really. But at Hampden, you just hope the lads play with their heads and not with their hearts. If they do that, then they've got a great chance of getting through.
Meanwhile, Wales host North Macedonia later, but they need Belgium to lose at home to Liechtenstein if they want to avoid the playoffs. And England fast bowler Mark Wood has come through his fitness tests and is expected to play in Perth. There's more on talkSPORT's Cricket YouTube channel.
Good afternoon, this is Paul Hawksbee and Charlie Baker with you through until 4 here on talkSPORT. Just before we chat three-weight world champion Duke McKenzie about the big boxing stories of the day, let's hear from Dave Allen on commentary duty with talkSPORT of the weekend for Eubank Ben, heavyweight boxer, of course. He was on with Andy Goldstein, Darren Bent yesterday and was asked if AJ fighting Jake Paul was bad for the sport.
It'll bring a lot of eyes to the sport, of course. Jake Paul's following brings a lot of eyes to the sport, and Jake Paul's done a lot of good for boxing as well. You can't say that he hasn't, and can't say that he's not treated the sport with a lot of respect as well, the way that he prepares. But one of the best heavyweights of our generation boxing, someone of this standard, which is not a bad standard when we're talking boxing. He's a decent little fighter, good little novice. It's really bad for the sport, and if anything happens to Jake Paul, it's catastrophic for the game.
That was Dave Allen on Drive yesterday. As we said, Duke McKenzie's joined us in the studio. Good afternoon, Duke. Good to see you.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I'm good.
So where do you stand on this?
I don't think it's a bad thing for boxing. It's purely because, when you've lost in a major world title fight, the first thing your promoter says, is that I'm going to bring you back, right? So they look for a soft touch. So you've got to consider Jake Paul a soft touch. All right, we know he's not a boxer. But what he is incredibly popular, and it'll bring a lot of eyes to the sport of boxing. Anthony Joshua should get him out of there within probably 3 or 4 rounds. And it's not bad. It wouldn't be a bad thing if it took him 3 or 4 rounds, because he needs to gain some sort of confidence, get his timing back, and he's got a punch bag.
He's never gone in with anybody, Jake Paul, with probably the punching power of Anthony Joshua, someone who's right on it the way he is. I mean, is there not a danger that, I don't know, he might catch him? Boxers like, they get caught, they come back. And he's got so much more power than anybody, Jake Paul. If something happened to Jake Paul, it wouldn't be a great look, because this is a proper mismatch, really, isn't
it? On paper, it's a mismatch. Of course it is. And anything is possible in boxing. And, anything could happen. We can't play devil's advocate and, fear for the worst. Do you see what I mean? I don't really think that that's probably right. But obviously, if AJ does catch him, of course he could do a lot of damage to him and hurt him quite seriously.
The rules are eight 3-minute rounds, 10-ounce glove, and a 245-pound maximum weight limit. for Joshua. Do any of those things even it up at all, Duke?
The only thing that evens it up is the 50 million that AJ is going to get for an 8-round fight.
Which is difficult to turn down, right?
Who could turn that down? If they offered me 5 million, I'm taking the fight.
I'll go in there.
Yeah, it's a colossal amount of money. So from a business perspective, it's absolutely a stroke of genius.
I said yesterday maybe the way to level it up is to do a kind of Errol Graham, Kirtland Lang, so he can have his hands tied behind his back, and then just see if he can catch him on the chin, which I'm not altogether sure he would. We've been hearing, haven't we, from Turkey Al-Sheikh. We had Eddie Hearn on with Jim and Simon last week saying, as far as he knows, it's going to be the fight against Tyson Fury next year. But this can't be the warm-up fight for that. He's going to need another fight, AJ, isn't he, before he takes that?
Yeah. I mean, it's like I say, this will be the first fight to get a little bit of confidence back, and then I'm sure they'll slip another fight in if the Tyson Fury fight does happen. Then he'll have another one during that, I should say.
Would you take him on, Jake Paul?
Yeah, if they've only got off me 1 million. Yeah, listen, I know. Listen, the man's not got to know his limitations, and I wouldn't want to get too greedy. But if they want to give me 50 million, I'll snatch their arm off.
I mean, you obviously weren't a heavyweight boxer, but I mean, if you were fighting him, he probably wouldn't be able to get near you, would he? He wouldn't be able to lay a glove on you in your prime.
In my prime, absolutely, I'd smash him to pieces. I've got no doubt. Even as a 62-year-old man now, I've still give him a run for his money, and I'd give the weight away. Pay me.
I say, here we are. Come on, Jake. Yeah. He's trashing you.
You can't play boxing. We know that. How can you manage the fight as a fighter so it still looks like a fight, and yet sometimes it's it's like a dance.
You don't want them dancing for 8 rounds.
I don't really think that's in AJ's psyche. I don't think for 1 minute they can say to him, you got to carry this boy for 2 or 3 rounds just to make it put on a show, just to make it look good. That's not what AJ's about. AJ's a heavy-handed, big 17, 18 stone plus machine, and the last thing you lose is your punch. And AJ wouldn't want to be humiliated by a guy that's not really a boxer.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, we'll see what happens. There was a couple of comparisons, funny enough, from the listeners, because I was raining against this fight. And 1 or 2 listeners said, well, Fabio Wardley's hardly had a glittering amateur career and gone through, sort of paying his dues through the ranks. But here he is as a world champion. Alexander Usyk has relinquished his WBO belt. What do you make of that? I mean, it wasn't a massive surprise that Usyk did that, was it, Duke? We kind of felt that was likely to happen.
Yeah, it wasn't a massive surprise. But, you got to congratulate Fabio Wardley, because that guy's come from absolutely nothing now to call himself a bona fide, genuine world champion. And he's been written off more times than just about any other boxer that I know. He's a decent fighter, Fabio Wardley, heavy-handed, big heart, looks like he's got good chin, good stamina. And he can be 3, 4, 5 rounds down in a fight and come back and turn it around, as he's proven, as he's shown.
Do you think we might see more people coming through white-collar boxing? There's always been a bit of... No, there is a bit of a stigma and a bit of a snobbery in boxing circles about it. But the fact that a guy's a world champion now...
Yeah, I hope not. But he's like a one-off.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen very, very often in the sport of boxing. You're not going to get... guys that are in different martial arts should stay in their lane. If you look at what AJ did to that Ngannou guy, he ironed him out pretty easily, and he'll do the same to Jake Paul. You've got to stay in your lane. You've got to know what you're good at. A man's got to know his limitations.
Usyk says he probably has got one more big fight in him, doesn't he? That's the feeling. I wonder, and he obviously didn't feel that Wardley was it. One big payday. I wonder it'll be. I wonder who we might see him in with then in his final fight.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get an AJ Wardley fight, and then the winner of that fights Usyk.
Okay.
I mean that would be quite a sexy fight, I'm sure, because like I say, AJ could potentially, him and Wardley could potentially fight for Wardley's now WBO heavyweight championship of the world. And if AJ is successful in that, he's back in the game.
That's a good shout.
He's right back in the frame.
Yeah,
it's a good shout.
So, Duke, will you watch Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul? Will you watch the fight?
Only because I want to see Jake Paul get smashed to pieces. I want to see Anthony Joshua just iron him out and stop all this nonsense that we're hearing.
It'll be interesting, won't it? Because it is bringing a new audience to boxing through YouTube, through and a younger audience.
Yeah.
to boxing.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see if those people
they're bringing it
enjoy
to
actual boxing.
Yeah, I think they're bringing them to Jake Paul fights. I'm not altogether sure they subscribe to DAZN afterwards.
Yeah.
And they're down in the weeds.
It reminds me, I was once at Le Mans 24-hour race a long time ago, probably 25 years ago, and they had one of those boxing booths in the middle of the fairground, and bloke got out of the audience to fight their fighter who would fight sort of 4 people a night.
Right.
And the bloke who got out of the audience gave this bloke an absolute leathering.
Really?
Like an absolute hiding, because he was an RAF boxer.
Right.
He was at the Le Mans 24, and he went, well, I've got.
Maybe that'll be Jake. Maybe Jake Paul's next fight will be that. I'll fight any man.
I'll fight anyone out the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's bitten off more than he can chew, calling out AJ. One minute he's going to fight Gervonta Davis, who's 5'4" and a lightweight at best, and he's squaring up to him. That fight fell through, and now he's calling out Anthony Joshua, and he's got the fight. Sometimes you've got to be careful what you ask for in the sport of boxing.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think we would like to see him put in his place, but I don't think we want to see him hurt, do we?
No, nobody wants to see him hurt. Nobody wants to see him hurt, but like I say, you got to be careful what you ask for in this sport, and he's got his wish, so he's going to have to find out the hard way.
Yeah.
The last thing that goes from any fighter, particularly a heavyweight, is their punch. Their punch resistance might go, but not their actual punch.
No.
And AJ's always been a puncher. He's only got to catch you once, and he'll put your lights out.
I mean, it's a brilliant bit of show business. It's a brilliant bit of promotion.
Oh, it's excellent.
Which in boxing has a history of great bits of show business promotion, but for the sport, I don't think it's great, but
even Ali sort of strayed now and again, didn't he? And went into a few showbiz fights, didn't
Absolutely, he? Yeah. I think he boxed a wrestler at one point.
Yeah, that's right.
So this is the equivalent. This is the modern day version of that. It's a great bit of business. You got to take your hat off to Eddie, and you really do. It's an 8-round fight. They're going to split 150 million, whatever the currency is. Yeah. It's a lot of money.
And I will say one thing Jake Paul has done is he's always promoted women fighters. And his bills are always pretty strong as well. So I'm just trying to find.
Yeah, you are trying
some
to
positives. Some positives.
Well, look. Hopefully, he's listening this afternoon. He's big talkSPORT listener, Jake Paul.
Is he? Yeah.
And he'll be calling out you.
He's
next,
the Love
Duke.
Fisherman's Breeze.
He'll call you out next, Duke. That'll be it.
I hope he does. Just put as many noughts on the end of that check, mate, 'cause I'm coming for you.
Nice one. So you can hear more from Duke. It's 8 o'clock tonight. It goes out, a talk boxing show with Jim and Simon and all the gang. And the latest episode of the talkSPORT Daily podcast is available now. Frank Warren, head of Queensbury, heavyweight boxer Dave Allen, John Rawlin, who we spoke to yesterday, Wally Downs Jr. from The Sun, all giving their reaction to that AJ Jake Paul fight. So make sure you check out the talkSPORT Daily on all podcast platforms now. Thank you, Duke. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
We're here with our very good friends at Tool Station. Check out Tool Station's unmissable deals. Great offers on hundreds of trade brands. Next stop, Tool Station. The next stop, we'll find out what happened to the Wembley gates from the old stadium. Now, get ready to kick off 2026 in style as talkSPORT and our mates at Virgin Atlantic giving you the chance to win an incredible trip for two to Las Vegas. You'll kick things off in style with exclusive access to the Virgin Atlantic Clubhouse at Heathrow. Very nice. Then you'll fly upper class with lie flat beds, premium service all the way to Vegas. Once you touch down, you'll check into a spa villa for 4 nights.
Really?
Cheer from the stands as the LA Raiders take on the Chiefs, and we're throwing in $5,000 cash to play with while you're there. So clear your calendar, 2nd to the 7th Jan 2026, because this could be the greatest start to a new year you've ever had. Good luck.
21 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text WIN to 83338. Text at £2 plus standard network rates. Bill payer's permission required. Or call 03434239761. Calls are charged at standard rate. All entries must be received by the 28th of November at 4 p.m. This is a network promotion. Run across talkSPORT, Virgin Radio UK and Talk. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
That's quite a musical mashup under the T's and C's. You said you were dying for a Nelson Riddle, didn't you?
I met his son once, Skip Riddle.
Hey, Skip Riddle?
Skip Riddle, that's Nelson Riddle's son.
Don't want to skip Riddle.
Don't skip your... Especially as you get older, Paul.
Yeah, can't skip your Riddle. Anyway, let's move on to more important matters. If the old Wembley, people remember the old Wembley very much apart from the towers. The other thing we often remember, those great old gates.
Yes.
The royal gates that, important dignitaries, members of the royal family, prime ministers, presidents would go into the stadium through
those gates.
And it's surprising just how little of the old Wembley still survives. There's a couple of flagpoles here and there in the vicinity. But of course, being concrete, the Twin Towers are rubble.
Yeah.
But the gates have lived on. And this is a fascinating story. Phil Bryant from The Sun tracked them down.
Oh, very nice.
To the unlikeliest of places. And he joins us now. Good afternoon, Phil.
Hello, Phil.
Hi, Paul. Hi, Charlie. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. So was this part of a kind of quest, or did you get a tip off of where they were and then kind of dug into the story a bit?
Saw a Facebook post on something on an old stadium sort of site, just mentioning that they may have been in South America, and I thought, well, that would be quite a good thing to kind of sort of explore and see if it actually was true. It took a few months. Quite a lot of language barriers and everything like that, but they do exist, and they are in Santiago, Chile.
Yeah, it's amazing in a museum.
Yeah.
And Chile had
not in hand luggage, I'm assuming.
Well, we'll come on to how they got there and some of the issues. But why, you're probably thinking, the Chileans kind of revere Wembley as a venue. And I was at one of these games, the Marcelo Salas, the 2-0 win in '98. But they had a couple of big wins over us at Wembley, and it's quite an iconic stadium for them, isn't it?
I think that's the thing. I think what people forget is, I mean, for people like myself, Wembley was magical when I was growing up. But you forget that it wasn't just our country. It wasn't just England. It was the whole world. I mean, Pele called it the cathedral of football, even though he never played there. But for the Chileans, they're very proud about it. They're very proud that they've taken one of the few last remaining relics of Wembley. So
yeah, Alexis Sanchez scored a goal. I think they beat us at Wembley as well. So it means a lot to them. Now, to make it even more exciting was that they weren't hand luggage, Charlie.
No,
I understand. Because they are pretty massive and they're incredibly heavy as well. The more interesting thing was they were bought at auction for, excuse me,
At Sotheby's, wasn't it?
At Sotheby's, yeah. £5,875, apparently. That's what they went for.
Yeah, I told. It's funny. I was telling my wife this story when I was saying how they came to be sold and where they went to, and then she was saying to me, "This isn't your roundabout way of saying that you just bought 2 Wembley gates for the garden for £5,000." So
we've all done it.
We've all done
it. Facebook Marketplace, eBay.
So easy.
Forgotten about the postage.
Yeah, and you think some bloke said, "Got a couple of giant 2-ton gates for you, Mr. Bryant. Where do you want me to put them?" Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, they are in Santiago in Chile. And they turned up, having sailed across the ocean, in not great shape. So they called in quite an interesting expert to bring them back to their glory field, didn't they?
Absolutely. So this is where the story was they were 2 days away from destruction anyway, and then a trust over here took them, and then they ran out of rooms, sold them to this Chilean museum, the Fundación Museo de la Moda, and they took them out to Chile. They got them there. And then they discovered that they had awaiting customs, they had wood rot, they had fungal attack, they'd been stored outside, so the Chilean climate wasn't particularly conducive to looking after them, so it was heat and humidity. So they had to call in an expert. So, what do? You call in a guy who's worked on the Titanic. So they called in a French guy, a French specialist called Stéphane Pennec, and he spent, I think, a month and a bit restoring and preserving the Wembley gates so they can keep them in Chile.
They're looking pretty good, Nick. From what you were told by the museum, do they? I mean, I'd like to think there are, because people do big South American trips, and I'd like to think it could become part of a pilgrimage for English football fans, Phil.
Well, you'd like to think. I mean, anybody who's like me, I mean, I get excited over a lost bit of terracing or a floodlight that still exists somewhere. But yeah, I mean, for me, Wembley was just magical when I was growing up. So I would have thought that people would want to see them. I know the Chilean Museum was so proud about it, and they actually, when I said to them, there really isn't much left of Wembley at all, apart from the artifacts they took. The Twin Towers have gone. There's a flagpole holder in a park nearby, and that is about it. So they were quite sort of proud and quite surprised to hear that. But it's wonderful that they have actually managed to keep them, and it just means the stadium does live on.
Yeah, you say in your piece, a lone flagpole holder from the East Tower, nestled in Brent River Park, a mile away from the new Wembley, and the flagpoles themselves are housed on a Fawley Hill McAlpine estate, complete with the famous crowns on top. If anyone wants to do the trip,
you can do the old Wembley, but Santiago, I mean, you can get round, you can have a wander around Brent quite cheaply, but getting to Santiago,
could be a nice trip.
And so the Sun didn't send you, Phil. Well, I was looking for the money shot where you're standing leaning on the gates, but the budget didn't stretch to that, no?
That would have been the pinnacle. I have managed to go to Brent River Park and see the flagpole holder. That's it.
The budget went that far.
Do a show from there.
Well, it's a really interesting piece. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
No, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
There we are. Phil Bryant there from The Sun, his exclusive story of whatever happened to the old Wembley gates. And if you do find
during the World Cup, Paul,
if you find yourself
down there during the World Cup,
it's a bit of a schlep. I mean,
it's America, isn't it?
Well,
Ish.
Kind of. So if you find yourself in Santiago, just passing through, go and check it out. Go and see the old famous and pay pilgrimage to the Wembley gates. So, still to come this afternoon, from the world of boxing, Christy Martin, a great pioneer of women's boxing, a Hall of Famer, and now the subject of a new film, Christy starring Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah.
We're going to have a chat with Christy Martin a little bit later on, see what she's made of the life story, or the film of her life story. Ray Bradshaw joins us. We'll talk a bit of Scotland, and we're talking Wales, of course, massive game for them this evening in Cardiff. So plenty of live football to discuss. Paddy's pick, some of your emails, texts, tweets, etc. All to come after the sports headlines. We're going to actually talk about women's football as well, just after, because we've seen the press conference today, haven't we? Serena Wiegmann, they've got a bit tasty with some of the press. So we'll be discussing that in the final hour too.
talkSPORT Sports Update powered by the Nissan Van Range. Commercial vehicles built around your business. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Good afternoon with your headlines at 2 minutes past 3. I'm Uma Gurav. A first World Cup spot since 1998 is on the line for Scotland tonight. Beat Denmark and they'll earn the Tartan Army a spot on the plane to the US next year. The ex-midfielder Barry Bannon believes they'll have to tidy up on their recent performances.
I think the last few games at Hampden, they've let teams come and have too much of the ball, and that affects the fans then as well. But I think tonight's a different occasion. I think the fans will be there the whole time behind them, and that can be a powerful weapon for Scotland tonight.
Wales play North Macedonia later but need Belgium to lose at home to Liechtenstein if they're to avoid the playoffs. A win for Craig Bellamy's side would ensure they play at home in the semi-final though. Meanwhile, former England keeper Ben Foster's told us even an England B team would have qualified top of their group.
Dean Henson in goal, Chalobah, Dan Burn, Livramento, Trent at right back, Adam Wharton, Alex Scott, Jordan Henderson, Anthony Gordon, Cole Palmer, Ollie Watkins.
Thomas Tuchel says he'll visit England's fringe players to explain what they need to do to make his 26. Over in the Lionesses camp, Serena Wiegman's insisted she has no regrets about choosing Hannah Hampton over Mary Earps for the Euros. Speaking for the first time since Earps released her book, Wiegman admitted she can't change the way Earps feels about her decisions.
What my reality is, someone else's reality can be different because how you experience things, that's very individual. I just know what I want to do is create an environment where we speak up, where I give clarity, where I always communicate with players when it's necessary.
Elsewhere today, Norwich have confirmed the appointment of Philippe Clement as their new manager, and England fast bowler Mark Wood's come through his first pre-Ashes fitness test and is set to play in Perth on Friday. There's more at talksport.com.
talkSPORT News.
The security minister says China could be after any information as there's a warning about spying, and the government looks set to cap ticket prices at face value. More from the news team at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. For a limited time only, get 15% off a set of 4 selected premium tyres. Don't miss out and book today at quickfit.com and drive away happy every time. Conditions apply.
Rain spreading southeast to most parts through the day. Snow and ice affecting some northern areas. It's feeling very cold in the breeze.
Good afternoon, it's Paul Hawksbee and Charlie Baker here on talkSPORT. Boxing legend Christy Martin joins us a little bit later on to chat about the new story of her life starring Sydney Sweeney. We'll find out what she makes of the movie and look at the world of women's boxing, which has changed an awful lot. I mean, her backstory is
amazing,
is incredible, which is understandable.
And another angle on a great boxing film. Who doesn't love a boxing film, Paul?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Ray Bradshaw joins us, Tartan Army, of course, and big night for them. And it's a big night for Wales as well. Paul Abandonato joins us, Welsh journalist. His new book, In the Dragon's Den. He's worked with all the Wales managers from Craig Bellamy right back to Terry Orr. So we're going to be chatting to him later on. A few old war stories from his days in the bunker with the Wales team and indeed looking ahead to tonight. But we're going to focus a little bit more on that story around Serena Wiegman. Her press conference, her squad announcement today, a bit hijacked really by all the Mary Earps chat. I mean, she did say today that she was a big fan of robust attitudes and conversations in the dressing room. Let's hear a little bit more from her.
I just know what I want to do is create an environment where we speak up, where I give clarity, where I always communicate with players when it's necessary, and also I make decisions to win. I've really, really enjoyed working with Mary. She's retired now, and we had incredible times, and I always cherish that.
There we are. Uma has stuck around because she's been keeping an eye on this story. It's probably the first time she's had a press conference like this, isn't it, Serena Wiegman, where she's she's got a bit knocked. I mean, a lot of England men managers have had it for years, but can we just talk about football? I mean, yeah, that's what she said at one point, wasn't it?
Yeah, look, I mean, the journalist went straight in and asked her about Mary Earps straight off the back of, kind of opening the floor. And I think Serena Wiegman would have known that she was going to be asked about this. It's not the kind of thing she'll be wanting to talk about. Just a couple of months ago, we were talking about how England won the Euros again. And I think that was a conversation a lot of people didn't expect us to be having. Unfortunately, around the Euros, it wasn't just Mary Earps. There was Millie Bright, Fran Kirby, a lot of these retirements that just have raised the question of whether everything is right in the England camp. And I think, look at how Serena Wiegman speaks. She speaks so well about everything. And I think she doesn't want to go at any of her players, past or present. We saw Sonia Bonpastor, of course, Chelsea boss, really go in on Mary Earps and basically say, look, Hannah's the one who's got all this class. But for me, what comes across, we had Mary Earps on Leanne Sanderson's Women's Football Show a couple of weeks ago, and it was a really emotional interview. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it on our social channels. But it's sad. I think whatever you think of the way that Mary Earps has approached this scenario, maybe the timing was right. I think she probably should have waited until we're many years down the line. Don't go after, somebody who's just won the Euros yet again and the keeper who's actually won it for us. But at the end of the day, this is somebody who knew what it was like to be out of the England fold. She wasn't in it under Phil Neville. She came back in, had that second chance. And obviously she feels a certain way about the fact that Hannah Hampton, who maybe was disruptive in previous camps, has been given this chance over her. She's 7 years younger than her. That has to be hard to watch. But I think Serena Wiegman, credit to her for the way she's dealt with that today. I think she's spoken really well.
Did she address whether Hannah Hampton had ever been a disruptive force? She clearly decided she didn't want to get involved in any of that. But, we keep hearing these stories. No one is specifically saying it, which makes it a whole lot harder for anybody to make a judgment. So you've got this air of ambiguity around it, but I take it Serena Wiegman didn't want to get involved in any of that at all.
No, she's not said anything. And I suppose while Hannah Hampton is her number one keeper, she's not going to say anything about her behaviour. What we do know about Hannah Hampton is it was reported she was left out of an England squad at one point due to her behaviour. But at that time, she was kind of 20 years old, really young, almost a child. And I think whatever she may have behaved like in the past, she then, became the number one keeper under Emma Hayes, under Carla Ward, and now under Serena Wiegman, and of course under Sonia Bonpastor. You don't get to a position like that if you haven't cleared up, those issues that you have, and you're at least in a position where you can maintain that number one spot. So I think completely understand that, maybe Mary Earps is feeling, look, I won us the Euros the first time. I wanted a chance to do that. And I thought she was going to be that person heading into the Euros this year. But ultimately, Serena Wiegman, she's saying, I have no regrets. And why would she, after all, she won the Euros again?
That's true.
I just think Mary Earps has been really badly advised somewhere along the line. I don't know what they were trying to achieve with this book, with these revelations. She should have been advised that will blow up, especially as you say, while they're still playing. And you've got a manager in Serena Wiegman who does call it out. She does offer clarity to her players, and we're seeing it with Thomas Tuchel now. He is offering clarity. He is leaving people out. They're not scared to do that anymore. And it's nice actually to have England managers who do tell you the truth and tell you what's happening. It's what we've always asked for.
And I think also, Charlie, you're absolutely right there, because it raises the question around, especially in women's football, we've seen, I think so many of the Lionesses have been built up into these larger-than-life characters where they're meant to be untouchable. Mary Earps, ever since she kind of won us the Euros, her behaviour in the World Cup final, just being that really boss woman figure, I think we would describe it as. And now you're kind of getting to a point where you realise actually she's just a human. She's just a woman who is trying to make her way in football and who now has come under so much pressure. And she has been badly advised. And that, I hope, is a lesson, I think, to, any other characters in the world of women's football, that actually this thing about reputation, it is really fragile, and I hope she's being looked after. I know she's got support. I was glad to see, I know she got boos at Old Trafford the other day when she came back, but she also had cheers and young girls coming up and asking for her autograph, because whatever she said in that autobiography, she will always be the first England keeper to have won us the Euros, and she has to be remembered.
In an ageing squad.
In
an ageing squad, and that was the point. They were an ageing squad. There was always going to be a shift in who came in next. And also, we glorify Gaza's antics, everything he got up to in training, all those things. I'm not just saying Gaza. There's always been players who've disrupted the apple cart. If Hannah Hampton's doing that, I think it's difficult if you're a goalkeeper because you're working closely with two other people at all times. But just hijinks of a 20-year-old?
The thing is, we don't know.
We don't know what it was.
That's the final question, really. I said immediately after all this stuff broke, may have been to Shaban, and that won't Hannah Hampton want to come out and have her say, stand her corner? And Shaban's feeling was, don't think she will. She'll just sort of keep her counsel and keep quiet. And that's the way it's kind of been. So you sense, because there's nothing specifically to answer to, because at the moment it's just these stories that she's a bit disruptive. What does that mean? There's nothing really for her to address specifically, is there?
I mean, I think she's answering all on the pitch at the moment. You know, she's come out, that her performance in the penalty shootout at the Euros, in the final. She won the treble with Chelsea. Chelsea will probably be on track to win something else this season. And Hannah Hampton is such a big part of that. It's like you said, exactly. They're footballers, and her performances on the pitch right now, she is the best keeper in the world, and that
she can't see properly. Imagine if she could see properly.
Yeah.
Imagine how good she'd be.
Uma, thanks.
Thanks
very much. Uma Gurav there getting us up to speed on that. I'm sure you hear a little bit more of that later on Talk Sport. But now it's time for this.
Paddy's Pick on talkSPORT with Paddy Power. Can you guess who's made the headlines this week? 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Yes, time now for Paddy's Pick in association with our official betting partner, Paddy Power. Charlie's delighted to be here on a Tuesday.
Oh,
he loves
it's not
this,
is it? I thought I'd pitch this.
I'm asking Charlie to identify...
Although I win no money on a Wednesday now.
You're going to win some.
Hospice is going to get about 25p on a Wednesday.
You're going to win some now. So we're looking for somebody who made news headlines in recent past. Paddy's Pick of the week. Going to get 5 clues, Charlie, as always, to work out who it is. We'll start with £50 in the pot. For every clue you use without the correct answer, £10 gets taken away. Paddy's Pick all for charity, raising funds for the Rowcroft Hospice, South Devon charity, delivering end-of-life care and support to over 2,000 patients and their loved ones each year. So, are you ready, Charlie?
Always ready, Paul.
I've not turned the page over yet, so I don't know if
I don't know anything. Very bad. My daughter's birthday at the weekend.
Wow.
Daughter's birthday at the weekend, Paul. Didn't watch a lot of sport.
Okay.
Did 7 hours of radio Saturday and then another 4 hours on Sunday on Virgin.
But it's sports radio, didn't you?
Yeah, sports radio. Yeah.
This week's pick is a 4-time world champion in his sport.
Good stuff.
Let me try and give you a bit of help.
It is sport.
It's an indoor, quite small scale game.
Oh, is it?
I want you to win some
bowling.
money for charity. It's not that.
It's it.
No, it's
small scale indoor game.
Yeah, something can be played over a table.
Oh, that's the question, is it?
No, I'm just trying to give you some.
All right, okay.
A 4-time world champion.
Okay, yeah.
4-time world champion in his sport.
What's the question? That's the question.
That was in there.
That's the question.
Yeah. What's the? Yeah. I need you.
4-time world champion in his sport.
Yeah.
It's not Luke Littler. It's
no
over a table. Not going to get this on my pool.
Over a table. How many sports? It's not football,
I'm
is
thinking
it? Unless it's table football.
But I was thinking Ronnie O'Sullivan, but Ronnie O'Sullivan's more than 4 times, isn't he?
Let's give you a few more. So this is for 40 quid. He's won a total of 24 ranking titles.
Oh, no.
Placing him 8th on the all-time list of ranking tournament winners.
Oh, God.
Shares his name with a place. I think it's in Leicestershire. Is it in Leicestershire? I could be wrong. Or is it in Northants?
Paul, I'm gonna draw a blank here.
Okay. First name Mark. Does that help you?
Mark Selby.
Mark Selby. Congratulations. Where is Selby?
Mark Selby. Selby.
Where is Selby?
Where is Selby? Is that the next
I've
question?
upset the mayor of Selby.
Mayor of Selby.
Probably.
Mark Selby. The Jester, do they call him?
Selby is... Oh, North Yorkshire. Blimey, take it back. Sorry, everybody in North Yorkshire. I was up there a little while ago. Sensational. Yes.
Is he the Jester, Mark Selby? Is that his nickname?
I can't remember.
You read the rest of it.
This is Andy Goldstein country, isn't it?
Mark.
Yeah, he is the Jester.
The Jester.
He is the Jester. 4-time world snooker champion, won the Masters 3 times, UK... Would have been here all night otherwise. I have to give him some clues. He won
I got it though, didn't I?
First major title in 2008. He just came through a tough safety battle with Judd Trump before racing away to win 10-5 and take the Champion of Champions title for the first time in his career. Yes, well done, Mark Selby. So, what was that, 40 quid, Charles?
John Richardson's favourite snooker player.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Great bit of comedy knowledge there.
Yeah, lovely, eh?
So well done. Yes, Paddy's Pick of the Week for adding another milestone to a great career. That's £40 for the Rowcroft Hospice this week. Thanks to our friends at Paddy Power, H&J official partner, a betting partner, 18 plus only, begambleaware.org.
Paddy's Pick on talkSPORT with Paddy Power. Can you guess who's made the headlines this week? 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
We're going to chat to Ray Bradshaw a little bit later on. I don't know if he's off to Hampden. He often does go to the games. We spoke to Ali Ross earlier. Big night for Scotland. Big night for Wales. They've already got a playoff in the bank, but this gives them a better class of playoff. I mean, either them or North Macedonia could still do it automatically, but it would require Belgium having a really terrible night, much like they did against Wales, of course, in the World Cup. So anyway, let's discuss Wales now with the author of In the Dragon's Den. Paul Abbandonato, as an award-winning journalist, covered Welsh football for over 30 years, from the Terry Yorath days as manager right through to Craig Bellamy. Very timely, of course, that we discuss his book today with a big game tonight. Hello, Paul.
Hey, Paul.
Hello, how are you both? All right?
Yes,
thank you.
We're good. We're good. We'll come on to some of your war stories from your time covering Wales a bit later on. But how are you feeling about tonight? You feeling pretty confident?
Oh, I don't know about that. Look, I was asked about this on the weekend, what my heart says and what my head says. And right in the book, I know we're going to come on to it, but right in the book puts into context just what brilliant stellar talent Wales used to have down the years. And I don't think this squad doesn't have a Giggs or a Bale or a Rush or a Hughes or a Southall. It doesn't even have a Bellamy or a Gary Speed, if you like. So, it's a nip and tuck game. The Cardiff City Stadium factor should play in Wales's favour. It tends to, but there is no Gareth Bale to get Wales over the line these days. So we'll just have to see on the night. Let's hope there's a bit of Harry Wilson magic.
Yeah.
The defence stands strong, and that's enough to get Wales second place in the group, which would obviously mean second seeds for the playoffs. But they're guaranteed to be in the playoffs anyway after excellent work done by Craig Bellamy previously in the Nations League. They just wouldn't want to be in pot 4 of the seeds, which would mean a possibility of having to go to Italy or Turkey or Poland or something like that.
You covered his whole career, Craig Bellamy, his whole career as a player for Wales, Paul. I mean, did you always see him as management material? Did you see him in this role all those years ago?
I don't know about all those years ago, but I always did talk him up I used to argue that he would make a brilliant Cardiff City manager because of his connections with the club, and he was involved there in the academy. And I felt that when Neil Warnock left Cardiff in about 2018, I argued in print that Craig Bellamy was the obvious person that they should go for. I always felt with him, there was something different. Whenever you interview Craig, there's something different about him. Yeah, he's spiky, he's edgy, he gives you good copy, so to speak, journalistic parlance, but there's always sort of a little bit more with him, his sort of knowledge, his sort of tactical insight, if you like, his in-depth analysis of the game, just always put him above a few others, if you like, some of his peers, if you like. And I just felt that there was a decent manager somewhere in the making there. Listen, the Welsh FA chief, Noel Mooney, says to me that Craig is a genius, a football genius, and he's destined to go on and manage one of the world's biggest clubs. We'll have to see on that, of course. Maybe that's a little bit hyperbole from Noel, but there's a talent there, let's put it that way. And he certainly, as I said, it's not a stellar Wales squad compared to what we're accustomed to down the decades. He's certainly getting the most of the sum of the parts in most of the matches, let's put it that way, even if it's tailed off a bit in the last 3 or 4.
There's been some sort of ups and downs along the way, certainly in your time covering Wales, and some tragic in the case of Gary Speed, and some sort of troubled times under Ryan Giggs. So the team and Welsh football generally, internationally, has had a lot to ride out over the years.
Look, football is, as you know better than any, football is littered with extraordinary tales. If you think about Leicester winning the Premier League, Wimbledon's crazy gang winning the FA Cup against Liverpool Scottish Cup, we've had Eric Cantona kung fu kicks, and a host of sort of great stories and controversies. But over a 30-year period, I think this really is a unique story. Wales went from given the stellar talent available, Rush, Hughes, Giggs, I've mentioned some of them down the years. They were the biggest underachievers in world football, never qualifying, whereas the other home nations always did, or often did. To the biggest overachievers at Euro 2016, where they marched through to the semi-finals of the Euro as a number 8 in the world. When Mark Hughes took over as manager, his first home game, there was a crowd of just 5,000, which made Wales amongst the worst supported countries in Europe. Within months, they moved to the Millennium Stadium and they had regular 74,000 sellouts. They were the best supported team in Europe. There wasn't another nation. Wembley was being rebuilt, so England didn't have that facility. There wasn't another nation attracting such regularly high crowds as Wales did. You think of what happened with Gary and Ryan, two very popular young managers doing brilliant jobs as managers of Wales, and the devastation of the Welsh FA having to pick up the pieces in both those cases and how they had to. Gareth Bale, best player that we've seen play for Wales, yet he was deemed not good enough for Wales schools at 15 to be picked at 15 years of age. And yet a year later was picked for the senior team under John Tosher. They're just surreal, the Bobby Gould era. And I love Bobby.
Yeah.
Just a whole load of surreal stories, which journalistically, I just went with it story by story, week by week. But when you look back at it now and package it all together 30 years on, it really is. I honestly think it's a football story like no other. It's sort of incredibly surreal to think what, the devastating lows, the exhilarating highs, a complete roller coaster.
You had, on a personal level, that journalistic badge of honour, a run-in with Sir Alex Ferguson, and that was related to Ryan Giggs. He wasn't happy about some of the things you were saying, apparently, Paul.
Yeah, so Ryan, it was 9 years before Ryan played a friendly game for Wales. And I did after he missed yet another one, I did a critical article saying, look, Giggs does need to be turning up for these matches. To me, that the friendlies were important in terms of building team spirit and tactics and everything for the qualifiers. And one afternoon, out of the blue, Sir Alex was on the phone. He'd obviously seen the article, and he just basically I don't know if you call it the hairdryer treatment, but he certainly let me know in no uncertain terms that he thought what I'd written was unfair. He got a couple of other Wales issues off his chest, by the way, as well. He was
loaded the lot onto you.
Yeah, he was very unhappy that at 17 years of age, Giggs was sent on by Terry Yorth away to Germany.
And that was your fault, of course, Paul.
Of course, we were the world champions at the time, and Wales were 4-0 down. What good do you think that did the boy, he told me. He was also unhappy. The young Ryan was fiercely protected. He wasn't allowed to talk to the media at all until he was sort of in his sort of mid-20s, I think.
Yeah.
And certainly a teenage Giggs was put in front of the Welsh press once, which Fergie was unhappy with. Of course, the London journalists held back anything to do with Wales. It was all about Man United copy on the morning. And Ferguson was saying to me that there we are, the morning of a big game, and it's Giggs this, Giggs that, Giggs the other, and he wasn't happy. But this is the rub. Having got his angst off his chest, he then went into on the record mode, and he explained very politely, very professionally, and very plausibly why he didn't regard friendly matches as that important in terms of the results, and that Giggs had bad hamstring issues and he needed to protect his career. And he went on to say, it's not just Wales games he's missed, Paul, it's also Manchester United matches. I've got the list right here in front of me now if you want to know. So he was fully briefed with his helmet. So I have to say he was very impressive. Having had his say, he was very impressive in how he put his arguments forward.
Well, Paul, we wish you well with the book. Obviously, it'd be good for sales if they can get the result you want tonight and get a better playoff. So we wish you well with it. Thanks very much for joining us,
Paul.
Thanks, sir. All the best. Bye.
Paul Abandonato's book, In the Dragon's Den, the scarcely believable stories from 30 years at the sharp end of Welsh football, is out now. So we're going to turn to boxing, and a boxing Hall of Famer whose life story is currently being told in the film Christie, starring Sydney Sweeney. Christy Martin's going to join us for a chat very shortly, and then Ray Bradshaw joins us to look ahead one more time to Scotland's big night against the Danes, all to play for. Win or bust, really, tonight. They've got to get that result. So
he sometimes takes his lad. I wonder if he's taken his...
Yeah, he often goes to games, so we'll see how he's feeling about the match. There should be some atmosphere. We'll keep you in touch with that, of course, this evening. Actually, don't miss kick-off tonight with Hugh Wozencroft and Scott Minto from 7. Apart from keeping you in touch with everything that's going on tonight, they're going to bring you a special cost of football show with the World Cup draw around the corner. Many fans will be wondering what the cost of being in America will be like in the summer. And also discuss the lack of an away ticket cap in the EFL and ask why there are so many resale sites. So kick off from 7 with Hugh Wozencroft and Scott Minto on talkSPORT.
Norwich have appointed former Rangers boss Philippe Clement as their new head coach. His deal runs till summer 2029. Norwich are currently second bottom of the Championship after sacking Liam Manning. Simon Jordan says it's tricky to know what to make of Clement's final weeks at Rangers.
Because it went downhill rapidly. The fans went off him pretty quickly. Performances sort of distilled to a level that was okay-ish.
Meanwhile, Rangers have a new set-piece coach. Scott Fry arrives from League One Lincoln, who scored 30 goals from dead ball situations last season. Now we understand former Liverpool coach Vitor Matos is now the leading candidate to take over at Swansea. You can catch more of this at talksport.com. Elsewhere today, Scotland are being urged to play with their heads and not their hearts tonight. Beat Denmark and they're off to the World Cup. Here's Paul Lambert.
Definitely have to probably tighten up in a lot of aspects of it and make tactical fouls. If somebody's going through, bring them down. I think that's nature of the beast, really. But at Hampden, you just hope the lads play with their heads and not with their hearts. If they do that, then they've got a great chance of going through.
Meanwhile, Wales host North Macedonia later, but they need Belgium to lose at home to Liechtenstein if they want to avoid the playoffs. And England fast bowler Mark Wood has come through his fitness tests and is expected to play in Perth. There's more on talkSPORT's Cricket YouTube channel.
Yes, good afternoon. Paul Hawksbee and Charlie Baker here on talkSPORT. Still a bit of Scotland to discuss before we hand over to Andy Goldstein and Darren Bentwood Drive. But our next guest is in the Boxing Hall of Fame. The first time women were ever on the ballot, she was straight in there because she's a boxing icon, a pioneer of women's boxing, and her life story is quite incredible,
Really
which
is.
is why Hollywood have snapped it up to tell it with Sydney Sweeney playing Christy Martin. We'll chat to Christy shortly. But let's give you a flavour of the film, Christy, via the trailer.
I think I found my thing. I bet most people go their entire lives and they don't even know what their thing is.
You the world champion right now. You think you what makes the world turn. But one day you're gonna wake up and realize that it turns just fine without you.
That's Don King giving sage advice there to Christy Martin. And we're delighted to say Christy joins us now. Hi, Christy.
Hello, Christy.
Hey, good morning.
Yeah, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. It's interesting in that line in the film about, I think I've found my thing. Some people go their whole lives about finding their thing.
Yeah.
The thing you'd found was a difficult thing to do as a woman back then, wasn't it?
Oh, it's a difficult thing for anybody to do, and it was especially difficult for a woman to do back in the late 80s, early 90s. Not too many promoters were willing to give an opportunity to a female fighter, and not too many fans really wanted to check it out.
And there was kind of pushback really from your family and I guess friends that because you played other sports as a kid, but it was boxing that took your fancy and you excelled at. So there was a lot of resistance to it, wasn't there?
Sure. I mean, my mother didn't want her daughter to be a boxer, and I never dreamed that was going to be my career. I really just started to do boxing almost not as a joke, but kind of just as a one-time thing, and I'll be able to tell a funny story or a great story when I get to be 50 years old and, you're at a party and your friends are like, well, what have you done crazy in your life? Well, I can tell you I did something that probably no one else has done.
How involved were you in the making of the film, Christy? When you sit to watch it, do you think that's good casting? I'm not sure about that. That's not how that happened. It must be incredible having a biopic made of yourself.
It's just crazy to think that somebody's doing this, telling the story of my life. I'm so blessed and grateful. But I was fortunate. I sat with hours and hours with Mira and Dave, and we did the script. They were in Australia. I was in Austin, Texas. So the times that we talked, were sometimes crazy. But we did a lot of just phone calls back and forth. And then we did, Mira came to Florida and hung out with me for about a week. I showed her like the house that I got shot in and took her to a boxing event so she could see how the behind the scenes works at a fight. Introduced her to some of my friends and to some boxing people so they could really feel who I am.
The listeners who don't know your life story were thinking, did Christy just say the house I got shot in?
Yeah.
Because this is not a straight up and down boxing. This is not a story of just the story of women's boxing, a woman coming through effectively in a man's world. It is, an incredible story of somebody suppressing their sexuality for a lot of their life, getting into a kind of marriage of convenience with their trainer.
Yeah.
That becoming very abusive, as Christy just sort of says there, to an almost sort of fatal level. It's just an amazing story, Christy.
This is one of the reasons that when I finally we started to move forward with the movie, it was important to me that the people that I wanted to do this deal with understood this is not a sports movie. This is a life movie. We're talking about boxing's the backdrop, but we're talking about domestic violence. We're talking about sexuality. We're talking about drug addiction, and we're talking about I'm the ultimate underdog. If I can get up off the floor after being shot and stabbed, left for dead, anyone can. If I can make it to the top of the boxing world, which I kind of did with Don King as my promoter, then anyone can. And it's not about being a boxer. It's about setting any goal that you want. If you can believe it, you can achieve it.
The actor playing Don King looks like he's having the most fun.
Yeah.
in the movie. I always think it looks good fun to play him.
What are your memories of him and working with him?
Well, working with Don King, I mean, he was the greatest promoter of all times. And in the 90s, it was different. Like, you actually went out and you talked to fans and you spent time. It wasn't all social media. He was great at going and like getting the people excited. And I think I learned a lot from him. I learned a lot about how to promote a fight, how to promote yourself, how to get people interested in what you have to say. He was a master at promotion.
Yeah. He put you on the undercard of Tyson fights, Holyfield fights, Cesar Chavez fights. I mean, these days, probably, when we look at the top level of women's boxing, you'd be headlining a lot more, someone of your stature. When you look at women's boxing now and how far it's come, how do you feel?
I'm really proud. And I do, sometimes I'm like, oh man, I wish I could be fighting now. They're making a lot of money. They're getting great exposure, all this positive thing. But I look back and say, you know what? If we hadn't done what we did in the 90s, maybe they wouldn't be where they are today.
Yeah. Someone has to make the first step. And I think you can be watching the film, you should be proud of yourself. The strength you've shown as a human being and pushing a sport forward and surviving yourself is absolutely incredible.
And what I'd say, a great honour to be in the International Boxing Hall of Fame, to be the first woman. The moment that women were on the ballot, you were in there. You must be incredibly proud of that.
Oh, absolutely. I had actually been the parade grand marshal back in 1996 after the Gogarty fight. But it was kind of strange. Like I was there, the grand marshal, but women fighters couldn't be inducted. So I remember in my speech, my grand marshal speech, I told all the guys, I'm like, one of these days, all of you brothers are gonna have a sister, and I hope it's me. So when I got inducted, I told that story again. So it was a great honor, and actually gave me chills just talking about it.
Now, Sydney Sweeney gets offered all sorts of glamorous roles, but she obviously really wanted to do this movie. So how much time did you spend with her, and how, you must have felt her commitment to do you justice?
100%. She gave everything of herself to this role. And yes, you're right. She has, I'm sure, hundreds of roles come by, opportunities for roles come by her desk, and she chose to do this. So I'm really honored. And like by the time I met with her in pre-production, she kind of already had me. She was already doing the boxing stuff like me. She was talking like me. And after every set, she would come back and we would have a little powwow for a few minutes, and she would ask me, what did you think? Did you like that?
Yeah. Oh, have we lost the...
I think we've lost the sound from Christy. We will attempt to get her back.
I'm going to ask her in a second if we get her back, Paul, what her favourite boxing film is.
Yeah.
Because,
there's been so many good ones.
It's difficult to look beyond the Rocky films, but Raging Bull.
Yeah. Sorry, Christy, we just lost the tail end of what you were saying there when you were saying that Sydney had really committed and kind of got you by those stages when you met her.
100%. She was on board, and I think the role was a challenge to her, and that's what she wanted. She wanted to be challenged, but she also does care about the domestic violence awareness. She's, added that to her jean commercial. Yeah. Added a butterfly to some of the jeans, and she's 100% in to help other people as well.
Some great boxing films out there, Christy. Raging Bull is my particular favourite, along with Rocky. I like $1 Million Baby. Have you got a favourite?
Well, I think, we're old enough to appreciate Raging Bull. Well, I don't know if you are, but I am.
I am. Yeah.
And then the Rocky movies, the first ones especially, again, and that's not really a boxing movie. It's a love story, and boxing is just a backdrop, but it gets you hyped up and you want to go to the gym after you see it.
What happened to the car? That's what I want to know. The pink BMW in the movie.
They didn't give it to you as a present.
No, but I do have the BMW that Don King bought for me back in 1996. Wow. I still have it in my garage right now.
Wow.
And Sydney Sweeney bought that car. The pink one, Sydney Sweeney bought.
Oh. Wow, really? Wow, that's great. That's great bit of showbiz news. Yeah. And life good these days, Christy?
Everything is good. I'm blessed. God has blessed me. I woke up this morning and I'm hanging out with you guys.
Yeah.
Well, look, it's better. Honour to speak to you. We're delighted you feel the film does you and your story justice.
Yeah,
it's out in the UK on the 28th of November. And great to talk to you. Thank you very much, Christy.
Thanks, Christy.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
There we are. Christy Martin now. a boxing legend, and the film with Sydney Sweeney, as we said, out on the 28th of November.
Lovely.
Yeah, I mean, there have been so many great boxing. Cinderella Man. Somebody up there likes me. It's a very good film, the Rocky Graciano film, Paul Newman.
Is Cinderella Man by the same guy who produced The Godfather, isn't it? Is it the same producer? I think he won Oscars, Best Producing Oscars, a long time apart.
Right.
It might be Cinderella.
You've just done the weirdest thing, though, Charlie. You hadn't watched this very quickly. You hadn't watched The Godfather at all.
So I'm now Godfather obsessed.
Yeah, you've come, and then you've even watched The Offer, the brilliant Paramount series about the making of
Cinderella.
It. Anyway, times are pressing, and we're going to have a chat with Ray Bradshaw probably before he sets off to Hampden. Massive game tonight for Scotland. We'll close up today as we started it, looking at their big game against Denmark. Comedian, Scotland fan Ray Bradshaw. Up next, we're here with our good friends at Tool Station. Don't miss their unmissable deals, great offers on hundreds of trade brands, should I say. Next stop, Tool Station. So, big night for Scotland. I'm really looking forward to it. We're both saying we're going to watch the match.
Oh, yeah,
tonight.
I'm looking forward to that, yeah.
Joining us now, man, who has a ticket. Wow, that is the Willy Wonka ticket.
Yeah.
He's on tour next year as well. Comedian, Partick Tham, Ray Bradshaw. Good afternoon.
Hello, Ray.
Hey guys, how we doing? You okay?
Yeah, all right, good. He's in the car. He's ready to go. He's on his way to Hampden.
Yeah.
Nervous?
Yeah, I'm in my car. It does feel like I'm about to do a Facebook apology video. You know, one of those when you're like, yeah, I was put in a local Facebook group because you drove over a speed bump at 25 instead of 20. That's fine. Yes, to answer your question, Paul. Nervous, yeah. Excited, yeah. I was out in Greece at the weekend. So that was the first 65 minutes of that game was awful. The last 25 were incredible. We scored those 2 goals, then Belarus go 2-1 up against Denmark. The atmosphere was amazing. It just depends what Scotland turns up tonight, doesn't it? Because I think I've done this show with you guys before when we did a playoff against Ukraine and we could have gone to the World Cup. When we were playing in the opening game of both Euros, we seem to get there, but not do the big equation. That's the worry tonight, isn't it?
It's sketchy for me because I'm obviously not Scottish, but the 0-0 draw in Copenhagen. What did you make of the Danes then? What could we tell from that match, you think, Ray?
We stifled them. We played 4-4-2, which we don't usually do. We played Grant Hanley, who has the biggest neck in football, and he just headed every little thing away all day. It was phenomenal. And then they went on, and I think they put 4 or 5 past Greece. They put 6 past Belarus away. Again, you don't know what Denmark's going to turn up. Last time we played Denmark at Hampden was, I would say, 3 years ago. We won 2-0. John Suter and Che Adams scored. So we can do it.
Yeah. And there's a sickness bug, Ray, apparently.
That's
sickness
right.
bug sweeping through the Denmark team.
Neeps and tatties are done for him.
I think that's Danish propaganda, Charlie. I think it's going to be one of those. They'll come out, they'll all be fighting fit. How can you get food poisoning from bacon?
So when Paul said neeps and tatties, you've said bacon. Come on.
We've gone route one. They have put pressure on themselves. Barry Bannon was on earlier on, and he's right, because what happened against Belarus has put far more pressure on them. They're going to be thinking, oh, blimey, it's happened. We've blown this. There is more pressure. You've got a lifeline. They've blown their chance. And if Hampden can get behind them, you make a good start, maybe get an early goal, you could see it really getting to them.
100%. And they could have gone through essentially by beating the world, 80, 90th, 100th at home, and they couldn't do that. So they've put themselves in the back foot. I think we've had Ben Gannon Dope come out last week and say that Scotland are going to be in the World Cup. And that kind of positivity I don't like. I think it's not natural. It's not Scottish. It's not for our people. I don't know, Bournemouth changed them. I think an early goal, Hampden is going to be jumping, but what you got to remember is we played 4 times at Hampden this season and in this calendar year, and we've been rotten in all 4 games. We lost 3-0 to Greece. We beat Greece 3-0, which was one of the biggest robberies. We beat Belarus 2-1. They had 21 shots. We lost to Iceland in a friendly. We need the team to turn up, and if you can get players like John McGinn, Scott McTominay, 18th in the Ballon d'Or, you get them to turn in, it's going to be incredible. It's going to be amazing or horrifically bad. But
I hope McTominay's brought the tomatoes he likes over.
Yes.
Because I don't know if you can get those in bits of Glasgow. I don't know. I've seen a lot of orange cheese.
Oh, it's big Italian
Italian
population.
So, yeah,
imagine you can get a good tomato there.
But you want, as a fan, you just want them to turn up and go for it from the off, Ray, or do you want them to hold?
No, you want them to go for it. We have been really bad at holding. Like when we played Hungary in the last game of the Euros, if we won, we probably could have gone through the group. We held for the first 60 minutes. They end up scoring in the last minute. We want to go for it. That's what football is all about.
Yeah.
No one wants a pragmatic team.
No.
You want a long ball. You want what we did Scotland v England when we beat you 0-0. We won a crossfield ball to Lyndon Dykes.
Desperate.
And I'll take it every time. He elbowed a player, I think it was Luke Shaw, within 20 seconds. That's what you want. You want a marker put down. You want none of this passing the ball about the back. The worst thing in Scottish football I've seen in the last 10 years was when we're 3-2 down against Greece. Craig Gordon came up for a corner in the 93rd minute and the manager sent him back. That is anti-football. That is not what a football fan wants. You want to see 42-year-old Craig Gordon, who's not played a game for his club this season, score the winner. That's what you want.
Going up for the corner. I
can see that.
That would be great.
I can see that.
I'm sure we'll speak to you before this, but you're off on tour next year, kicking off in February in Inverness. Coda is your tour,
nice.
Yep, Coda, child and deaf adults, that's what I am. Really looking forward to the English dates after talking about that 0-0 win. So we go all around the UK, starting Inverness all the way down to Winchester. Really big venue in Glasgow, a 3,000 seat in Glasgow, which is a bit insane. And all kind of different stuff. But Charlie, you know what tour life's like. You just kind of put it off until it happens, then dread it.
Yeah.
It's like a Scotland match, to be honest.
RayBradshaw.com is the place to go for all your ticket details. As we said, I'm sure we'll speak before then, Ray. But enjoy tonight. Good luck.
Enjoy it, Ray.
Hope you get the result.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. Enjoy watching the game.
There we are. There's Ray Bradshaw there on his way to Hampden. Thanks to Ali Ross earlier on as well. Thanks to all our guests today.
Yeah.
Our podcast will be available. We had a fascinating chat with Christy Martin, if you've just joined us, who's the subject of the new Sydney Sweeney movie.
Yeah.
We had an interesting chat with
Harry Clark
young
from
Harry
the Traitors.
Clark from
He was
Traitors.
great, wasn't he? Yeah.
We found
Shirley
out what happened
Ballas.
to the Wembley Gates, the famous Wembley Gates, and Shirley Ballas joined us. So if you missed any of the show, all available wherever you get your podcast, the H&J Daily Podcast.
On the Wembley Gates, hundreds of gardens in Scotland with Wembley turf, says Anonymous.
Yes, I know. Yeah, that's famous stories. People going touching it from 77. That's right. Anyway, that's us. Hugh and Scott Minto will keep you in touch with Scotland and Wales tonight, and you can get your calls into the sports bar and 10 and have your say. Let's hope we haven't got, as anyone seen, Ali McCoist, Alan Brazil
Thank you.
from Jason tonight. Fingers crossed for Scotland and Wales this evening. And we got a live show tomorrow coming from Six's special cricket show, the Six's Cricket Bar. Darren Goff, Steve Harmison, lots of top guests joining us to kick off the Ashes. Do hope you can join us from 1. Have a good evening.